Actually, I'm. Oh no. Okay. All right. Hold on.
Lady,
Okay. I got it.
Cara, what the hell am I watching? And you
I also broke it.
the crack.
Here.
Oh my, Cara, what? How did
I'm
you get
pretty
yourself
sure-
in this situation?
I'm pretty sure it was something stupid like, can I fit in this? So I had to try it. Like,
Do you even remember this? No one challenged you in this, it sounds like. You just were like, I could.
it might have been. It might have been something like that.
This is.
I mean, like, I have no inhibitions. I'm just like, can my butt fit in my laundry hamper? Let's try, you know?
KaraCorvus here in the studio. Now, Cara, here's the thing. All right. First and foremost, how's your day? What you been up to, Cara?
Just playing games.
Yeah. What were you playing
Doing-
today?
Oh, what did we play? Among Us, Worms, and First Class Trouble. If y'all know what that is.
Yeah.
Have you played First Class Trouble?
I have.
Super fun.
Of the three, First Class is the only one I've never heard. So can you give me a little bit of an intro? What is First Class Trouble?
It's kind of like Among Us, like a social deception game, but
Uh-huh.
it's based in the 50s. But you're like, it's kind of like 50s aesthetic, but you're in space and there's two like imposters among you and you have to figure out who they are.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang, you had a full day then. You had a bunch of
Oh,
games.
yeah.
Plus, you're doing this. So I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
over the top there. I appreciate your time, Cara. I appreciate your willingness to try something different. My goal here is to have your community learn at least one new thing about you. All right? That's always the goal. I've done this 102 times now, and so
Wow.
far undefeated. All right, so far undefeated with that, but we'll see. Cara, I usually start off these shows the same way, and I tell the guest how we kind of got connected. This place, Twitch, has over 9 million streamers, and it's always nice to figure out, connecting the dots. And you were actually recommended by JoJo Solos, you were the first recommendation too. Let's get that on
Aw.
the docket, all right? She could not gas you up enough. She's like, I love her. You need to have her. We did that little video on Twitter, and you responded, and here we are today. So I appreciate your time and your willingness again to be a part of this. Thank you. No, just thank you for that. So we're gonna start off this show the same way in terms of the introductions and your life here on Twitch. All right.
Okay.
So before we get into anything, how long have you had your Twitch account in general? I'm even talking before streaming, if that applies.
Okay, so I started streaming in February 2016, but I had my account, KaraCorvus account, in 2015 December.
Dang, okay.
But I've been on Twitch just as a lurker since, when was it Justin TV? Like since Justin TV.
2013-ish, I want to say.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. And what got you onto the platform in the first place, even as a lurker?
I just love playing video games and watching people play games. Yeah.
I like it. Do you remember who you were watching at first?
I remember when I was at work on my lunch break, I would watch Wings of Death. Do you know who that is?
Wings of Death. Okay. And what was Wings playing?
He's a League of Legends player.
All right, here it comes. Now we're unpacking it. So you were starting off with some League, and that's what brought you to the platform. You're like, I need to make an account.
I guess so. Yeah.
All right, that's good. Good on you. Good on you there. So
I no longer play though.
we have to get that on the docket. All right? On the record, no longer plays. She's clean from League for years now.
Yes, true.
So then, from the Justin TV days to streaming, you said you were streaming about 2016, correct?
2016, yes, early 2016.
So what made you press that go live button for the very first time?
It's actually a really funny story.
Yeah.
So my previous job, I've always been nerdy. I've always played video games. My previous job had nothing to do with it, but then I had a friend who knew I liked playing video games, and she knew someone from her work that was starting to stream under a group
Mm-hmm.
of people, and they needed more people to stream.
Oh, okay.
So they asked if I wanted to join, and I would stream like maybe 1 or 2 days a week. And at that time, it worked out for me because I had a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do that. But then I didn't like the way they ran the group. It lasted literally 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'd have a scheduled day. I would try to start streaming and someone else would be streaming instead. And I'm like, hello, it was my time to stream today. And then they'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Can you stream tomorrow? And I'm like, no, I had something planned. So then I just got so pissed off at them that I made my own account.
Yeah.
Well, I already had my own account, but I started streaming on my own account. And I'm like, oh, can I swear?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So I said, fuck them. And I started streaming on my own account, and I just didn't talk to them ever again.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
And look where we are now. Like, that's awesome. You've just been
Yeah.
applying yourself. You love what you're doing here. That's awesome. What a story arc there, where it's just like from a 2-week team to just like, oh, fuck it, I could do it myself. Like, let's just run it. I like doing this.
I'd like to say I'm powered by pettiness and spite a lot. You know, like if I get wronged, I make sure they know they screwed up.
So, I think you and I are going to get along, Cara. I think you and I are going to get along very well if this is what you're powered with. I fully believe you love revenge is best served cold, and for you, it sounds like with your successes and your accolades is where you're going to prove a point. You don't got to. We don't got to talk shit. You know? You just let your business do the talking.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm only successful because I wanted to show people that they fucked up.
Oh my! Well, cold-hearted man, you are a savage. All right, fair play. I'll take that in. Let me ask this one question though. Yeah, I'll give you one heavy hitter here. How has your content or you as a creator evolved from the first time you streamed back in 2016 to now?
The first time I streamed, it was League of Legends. And then I quickly learned that was not going to go anywhere. So I streamed that for maybe a month, maybe 3 weeks. And then I started making cosplay because Twitch had just released their creative section. So I just sat on my floor and I made armor all day, which was great. It got me partnered. Like that was the whole reason I got partnered.
Yeah.
Because I was like the top of the list in creative. So
why specifically cosplay? You know, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because I was a cosplayer before I started streaming, and I usually try to make one big cosplay a year to go to like Comic-Con and Anime Expo.
Oh, wow.
And so it just got to the point where I needed to start making my outfit for Comic-Con and Anime Expo. And I thought, hey, might as well do 2 birds with 1 stone and make it on stream and also get streamer money for it. You know?
That's dope. And personally, what was your personal favorite? What was your favorite cosplay that you created during that duration of streaming it?
Probably Farah. From Overwatch.
Yeah. Nice.
Have you seen it?
That specific cosplay? No. But I know who Farah is, but what was it about Farah that you enjoyed most of all?
Well, so to be honest, it started off as a commission for a company to make Farah. But then I just fell in love with her because she's Middle Eastern and I'm Middle Eastern. You know, I identify with that, and she's badass, and I want to be badass. So that I think that's why she appealed to me.
I love that.
And like just the armor's cool.
That's sick. Here's the thing, Cara. All right, we're gonna mosey on over here to the next middle segment of this intro, and you know I haven't been on Twitch for too long, roughly a little bit over a year, and I can't be on. You know, everyone's doing something. I believe Twitch is like the city that never sleeps. It's like the Vegas of content, where you at any time you could find someone doing something. And so with you, Cara, you know, I like to kind of find middle ground between myself and my guest. And so I'm here on your profile, and I have 3 clips that I just want to talk about. You know, I just want to understand.
Clip.
What was it? They're there, Cara. It's public. It's not. I don't know what we're talking about. But I got your back, Cara. I got your back. All right. You know, again, we've done this over 100 times. There's no way I can mess it up this time. But I just want some context behind these clips and maybe some follow up here. So I have here. Let me switch over scenes. If you'd like to listen along, you can listen on your end. But this first clip here is more about the ambiance. It's more about those that you surround yourself with. And it just says Morgan Freeman. All right? So it's 30 seconds long. It's 30 seconds long.
I forget what this one is about.
And I'll just have you explain, you know, maybe even the context of who these people are you're with and what was going on here. But let's listen. 30 seconds.
You can hear us just fine? Oh, good.
So
Morgan's not here. He had an emergency.
Yeah. Talk to him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me the phone.
Has
Give you the
done
phone.
VR, and it's like very good quality, no matter which direction he faces. So I would talk to him.
I don't know where Morgan Freeman is, but wherever he is, we will find him. Ladies and gentlemen.
Morgan Freeman. That was cringy.
Cara, what in the world? First of all, you got some talented friends. But what is going on here in this clip that randomly your homie is like, oh, no, just give me the phone. Give me the phone. I know what to do for the people.
There's a lot of background to this. So maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I played VR chat a lot.
Okay.
And so he specifically had a model of Morgan Freeman. So he would just be Morgan Freeman in VR chat because he could do the voice so well. And so after like 6 months of like all playing together, we met up in Little Tokyo in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Just to have like a little outside fun stream.
Mm-hmm.
And we were making a joke that Morgan Freeman couldn't make it, but we have his friend here, and it happened to be the person who would voice Morgan Freeman on VR chat.
That is way too good, and that's beautiful. But let me ask you one thing about IRL streams. I personally believe, you know, IRLs, that's the future. That's where once all this, hopefully, this pandemic stuff, you know, slows down, more people will be excited to try to go outside and try to make something of that in terms of content. For you, Cara, what would be your ideal IRL stream? What is something you'd like to stream IRL on your channel?
I actually used to be an IRL streamer, so I think I've already done it. I streamed in Japan, in Tokyo, and that was, yeah. So I did an IRL stream in Tokyo, and I met up with a bunch of other streamers, and my friend started rapping in the middle of Shinjuku Square, and he almost got arrested by the Japanese police for rapping.
On what grounds, though? What is that? What?
For disturbing the peace, you know?
His bars are too fire, it sounds like.
They're a little more strict in Japan about that stuff.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
That's dope. Is that something you would return to in the future?
Oh, yeah. I would love to do it again. Definitely.
Nice. All right. Awesome. So that's the first clip. All right. Something easier, that's softer. We got to toss in something also a little bit more with a little bit of fire behind it, a little bit more embarrassing.
Oh, goodness.
And this one, I just don't understand why the predicament that you got yourself into. All right.
Oh, is this where I got stuck in the? Yep.
Well, let's watch it through. All right. No spoiler alerts here, Cara. Let's understand what in the world you're doing. It's a minute long. Let's take a look.
Ow. Hold on. I think if I do. Oh no. Oh. Oh. Don't hear it snap.
Oh boy.
Okay, actually I'm Oh no. Okay, all right, hold on.
Lady,
Okay, I got it.
Cara, what the hell am I watching? And you
I also broke it.
the crack.
Here.
Oh my, Cara, what? How did
I'm
you get
pretty
yourself
sure-
in this situation?
I'm pretty sure it was something stupid like, can I fit in this? So I had to try it. Like,
Do you even remember this?
There-
No one challenged you in this. It sounds like you just were like, I could.
it might have been. It might have been something like that.
This is.
I mean, like I have no inhibitions. I'm just like, can my butt fit in my laundry hamper? Let's try, you know?
So this is what the people can expect. They're just randomly, you're playing Among Us, you're playing these other, worms, and then every once in a while when you're transitioning between games, you know what? I bet I fucking can fit in that right here, right now. And then you cracked it. Like my heart went out.
Yeah, I broke it. I did.
The
I still have it though. I still use that hamper. Yeah.
Okay, that was the real follow-up question, was because the Filipino in me would not have forgiven you if you threw it out because of one crack there. All right, Cara? My mother would have come on screen and just yelled at you with that one.
Wait, yeah, let me see. Hold on.
Go ahead. Oh my goodness, absolutely. That's just an unfortunate pause for me. Let me just see if I can get a better one. This is not any better.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, crack and all. It's still here.
All right, good. But you, what would you say, Cara? Out of curiosity, what would you say is your most embarrassing? This is ridiculous. Your most embarrassing thing you've done on stream live.
So here's the thing. When you've been streaming as long as I have, you kind of get over the embarrassment thing.
Mhm.
Like anything embarrassing is just content, Like
Sure.
you lose your shame. You don't really like it's not embarrassing anymore. You're just like, oh, that was really funny for everybody. This is great,
So it's just, at what point do you reach that? You say when you've streamed long enough. I agree with you. But I think, was there ever a point where you're just like, man, fuck this. Like, I don't care. Let's just do whatever bit I can in terms of content, comedy, interest.
I can't think of a time I've been embarrassed on stream. I honestly can't. I literally have no shame. I really don't give a fuck anymore about anything. But like it's been like that in my life since before streaming too.
Mhm.
Like I just don't care.
I fuck with that. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I think that's what separates like the good from the great, is that you're willing to lean into these bits that, like, again, from the moment you started this, in my brain, I was like, this is not going to end well. Something's going to either it breaks or there's going to be a bit with this. Like, this is going to turn into some sort of meme. But the fact that you took that on the chin, you broke the thing, you showed it to the viewers, being like, yeah, you heard that crack. That crack was real. And you just
it's just fun and funny stuff. And like, if I can't laugh at myself, like how can I expect other people to laugh at my content,
Exactly. I love that. So that's the second clip, all right? That's the second clip there. The third one here is your most rated clip. And I got to ask you, all right? I got to ask you here. Or one of the most rated. It says, Cara roasted by Snoop, all right?
Yes.
So let's take a listen. 38 seconds long. And I'll ask you some questions regarding this, all right?
Yeah.
Rat soup eating motherfuckers.
So who do you think is gonna take?
I don't know and don't give a fuck. Stop asking all these dumbass questions. We lost. I gave you an interview. Now be gone.
And there you have it. Back to Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You can never say that Dog is not one of the most realest people when it comes to life, interviews, just in general, right? And that's pure emotion, because people think that, like, oh, it's a game. This isn't a game. Like, Dog takes this very seriously.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
got a little there.
This is one of those things
Cara,
where it's like, hey,
here's the question I got to ask you with this clip, all right? Fantastic. How do you handle? It's one thing to be interviewing the legendary Snoop D-O-double-G, but how do you handle when that is the reaction or that's the answer from this celebrity, from this person, this icon? How do you like try to juxtapose or sashay around just a pure non-answer roast of an answer?
So here's the thing, and I'm sorry if it breaks any magic for you, but
Please.
It was all planned. That was the point.
Oh, Santa's not real with that one.
I'm
You're
sorry,
killing me.
but I was brought in to give Snoop a hard time so we could like go back and forth with each other and give each other a hard time. So they asked me to ask him questions that were like just really stupid questions like, damn, that was a really terrible, devastating loss. How do you feel? You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then he like hit back and be like, how you think I feel, bitch? You know, like shit like that.
Yeah. That's
So, like,
fantastic, though.
Yeah. So that's why we had the high five after, because it's like, yeah, that was funny. Good job, dude. You know?
You did perfectly. I love that. See, now we're getting a little bit of the behind the scenes of that. Because the thing is, if you just watch that as is, no context of what you just said, that's viral right there. That's something that's engaging. That's like, holy cow, what's going on? You know, you're throwing softballs, Snoop's out of pocket with some of his responses as is. But man, I did not see that one coming. But see, Cara, that's all the clips. All right? It's as easy as that. Nothing too much. I got your back. I always have the guests, best interest in order. But the thing is, if you've never seen this show, as much as I love Twitch, I love Twitter. I love Twitter so much.
Cool.
And so I have 3 of your tweets that I just want to ask about. It's the same kind of energy, all right? And we're just
my
gonna explain
answer is gonna be I have no shame, probably for all of them. So
honestly, and that makes the best guest ever. All right, that makes the best guest. This one is not so much a tweet that you made, but a friend of yours made, because you made it together, and it's this tier list. All right, you made a cereal tier list here. It says,
Canes, yeah.
my friend KaraCorvus and I, collectively, we are the smartest people on the internet. We ranked cereals. The list is inarguable. If you disagree, A, you have bad taste, and or B, you have trash taste. And so let's take it full screen here. And we have here a spread of your cereals. I feel there are some controversies here. I feel that there might be a problem. Let's start off with the most obvious. How is Honeycombs S tier? Can you make a claim for me?
Have you never had honeycombs?
I've had honeycombs. Those are huge. Those little what is it about a honeycomb that puts it to the S tier?
They're great because they're delicious and you're wrong.
God.
Like, duh.
Why did I allow that answer to stand? Why did you, when you said you're wrong, I was like, you know what? You might be right. You might be right on that. So what is it about the flavor? What is it the flavor? Is it the texture? I don't understand the hype with honeycombs. I really don't. It's good, but S tier good?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Someone said they're salty over Reese's Puffs not being on there. Do you literally see what is number 1 S tier? Oh my God.
Right there. It just
Sorry. I had to clear that up.
Of course. I can understand the other 3. I can agree Cocoa Puffs, Frosted Flakes, Corn Pops, 100%. 100%.
Yeah,
Gotta
so the reason, I'm going to be honest, I haven't had honeycomb in literally like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when I first had it as a little kid, I was just like, oh, these are so good. What the heck? You know, like that's all I remember. Just it being so good.
Fair. So we're going off the past.
Yeah, maybe it's
then.
nostalgic. I don't know.
Okay. All right. If it's nostalgia, I can agree behind that. I don't know. I had honeycombs recently. They just they like waffly. It was strange, but I mean the older
maybe
we
they
get,
changed the recipe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it was really good when I was a kid.
But you're right. But here's another one that's kind of controversial. On C tier, you put Cheerios and Honey Bunches of Oats. Did they wrong you? Why are they mid? Why are they mid at best for you?
So this was Himmy Cane's additions. I personally have never really eaten, was it Cheerios, like apple cinnamon flavor, apple something? I've never had it.
I thought those were just
And I
regular.
haven't.
Okay. Oh no.
And I haven't had Honey Bunches of Oats either. So
Cara, honestly.
Oh, is that regular? It might be regular.
No. Yes.
I just don't really eat them, so I really had no opinion, so I let him put it where he wanted it.
Fair play. If it's regular Cheerios, fine. I'll give you mid. Honey Bunches of Oats, I will buy you a box, Cara. You have me on the docket right now, or on the record. I will Venmo you exactly the amount of money you need to buy
was
this.
it like 267 or something.
Hey, I'm a generous man, all right? I'm a generous man. I'm breaking the bank with this shit. But I will buy you a whole fucking box to try this for a food review, if you will, all right? I would love that. But it's on the house. You got to put this at least B, at least. For some, it might be A. If you need brand in your diet, it might be A, but at least be A, all right? But for the most part, I can agree with most of it, all right? I can agree. Which one here do you feel, since you said that you did this with your friend, one last question, which one do you feel like is incorrect based off of you and your friends' discussion? Like, if you had one that should properly be somewhere else, what would it be?
I personally love Apple Jacks, so I would put it in A tier. But we compromised because he didn't like Apple Jacks. So I said, how about top of B tier? So we compromised on Apple Jacks.
Okay. Fair play. Fair play. All right. I feel that one. All right. And that's the first tweet. All right. It's simple there. The second one here, a little bit more serious because I have the same kind of inquiry that you do when you had this tweet. You made this July 6th at 9:29 a.m. This was a morning thought for you. All right. And you were asking, question, why have an alt Twitter account? I've heard it's better for brands, but I'm sure the brands know about your alt. Just want to hear some reasons because I personally haven't found a good one to make an alt. It also seems like mainly a Minecraft CC thing. Have you come to the conclusion of what an alt Twitter is for? Because I don't understand it as well. Can you educate me on this?
So I do now have an alt Twitter account, but it's completely private. So I think the only way it makes sense is if you have it completely private. Or if you are an artist and then want to have like an art Twitter for like portfolio purposes and then like a personal Twitter. So those alt accounts I can totally understand. But if you just have two different Twitter accounts where you post equal things, I still don't get it. Like people have said it's because they don't want to mess up the analytics of their first account, but like at that point no one's looking at your analytics that closely. Like I've never ran into any sponsor that looks at Twitter analytics so closely that they ding you for like a one-off tweet that is just like, what time is it? You know, like I've never run into that. So I think it's just stupid.
For me, like, exactly. I totally agree. I feel like a lot of people, like when I see alt Twitter accounts, it's like, all right, I'm using it because I want to like shit post or a little bit of subtweet if you got some tea or whatever. Like that's what it is. And I'm just like, really, just say it with your chest. Say it on main. Like they ain't
exactly.
You know.
That's what. Yeah, it's like that. That's what I think too. If you're going to conceal yourself, like at least put it behind a private Twitter like I do.
Exactly. There you go. And that's good to know. And it's also good to know Cara is not accepting on the private Twitter account. All right, you guys. So don't even try. Don't even try. You got to be a homie if you're going to get into that. It's like it's one of those high class clubs and bars. All right. I feel that.
I vet people very harshly.
There's an interview process before they you accept it.
I look through their entire history before I accept.
So you're the one that looks for the Twitter analytics on their end instead of the brands. Yes, that makes sense. All right. So that's two tweets down, one to go. All right. This last one you made very recently. Okay. I feel like, it popped off a bit, but like I'm trying to understand. Some can say it's controversial. You made this August 9th at 6:53 p.m. and it reads, you can rinse/shower every day.
Oh, yeah.
But it's actually not necessary or even healthy to use soap on your whole body every day. Mainly just armpits, genitalia. And I only wash my hair once a week. Was this a shock for people to realize about like a hygiene routine?
For me, so I was a scientist before I was a Twitch streamer. And even that, I was a microbiologist. So I'm very acutely aware of germs and bacteria and all that stuff and how it affects you.
Yeah.
So if you wash your body too often with soap, you're killing all of your good flora on your skin that's keeping you healthy and keeping you away from infection from the bad bacteria. It takes up the niches of your skin biome and makes it so bad bacteria can't propagate. So when you wash your body so often with soap, you are destroying both the good and the bad bacteria. You don't want that. It also dries out your skin. It makes you more prone to infection. It lowers your immune system. it's just all bad. Like the only thing you need to really wash every day is, like I said, your armpits, your holes, and your feet, and maybe your face.
I would have rather you said genitalia than holes. I don't know what it is about holes that
Genitalia.
really got me fucked up. I feel that. What prompted you to write this this PSA?
Yeah,
So-
pits and splits. Because people were giving like Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher a hard time for saying this exact thing, and they blew it all out of proportion, saying they don't shower ever. When they were just saying they don't use soap on their bodies every day, which is, I completely agree. It's scientifically found, it's scientifically sound to do that. So I wanted to also make a post saying like, hey, from an actual microbiologist, they're right. And also don't wash your hair so much because you fuck up your hair.
There you go. It's as easy as that. Good to know. I think a lot, I think we all learned something here today. I think this was worthwhile kind of information because I think a lot of the times I read that. I remember where I was in my place. I was lying on my couch and I saw that tweet and I was like, that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense that we're over, all the chemicals in the products and all that jazz. But at the same time, I was like, it's just not what I'm taught back in the day. It's not what I was taught. And now you're changing my world, Cara. You're just trying to change my whole...
Like, I don't want to sound like a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist, but like shampoo and soap producers have brainwashed you into thinking that you're very dirty and you need to wash yourself every day, and you really don't. Unless you're like covered in mud, you really don't.
Get the tinfoil hats, ladies and gentlemen. Get the tinfoil hats. That's wild. I love that. But Cara, that's the hardest part of the show. All right? That's all the embarrassing stuff. That's all the gotcha questions or clips or whatever. And now it's smooth sailing from here. All right? We're going to go into some introspective parts of your journey here on Twitch and content creation, and then we'll lean into your life story. All right?
Okay.
So the first question I have for you is, what have you learned about yourself through streaming?
That I have no shame anymore.
Is that a good or a bad realization?
I think it's good. Honestly, the thing I tell people, and this is kind of nihilistic, but the thing I tell people when people ask, like, how do you not get anxious? I just say, like, because no one cares about you. Strangers don't care. They don't care what you do. They don't care what you say. Like, say you're walking down the street and some guy like trips, like you see it and then you never think about it ever again. Like after 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But then that person's going to be thinking about it like for years. Like, oh God, that was so embarrassing when I tripped in front of everybody. But no one cares. Literally no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
So like once I realized that, I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna own everything, like I'm gonna live for myself. I don't care what other people think because they don't care what I think. They don't care. I don't care what they think. If they're not my friends and not my family, I don't care.
Yeah. How has that mentality empowered you outside of streaming?
I mean, same thing. Like obviously I'm going to treat people politely and respectfully, but like I'm not going to care about them if they don't respect me back.
Yeah.
Like if someone says something shitty to me, I'll tell them to fuck off. I don't care what they think. I don't care what other people think. If they're not even doing the basic decency to respect me and be polite to me, then I'm not going to give a shit about them. And then like also like I was saying, if I trip on the street, I don't care. I tripped. Who cares? I'm not going to get embarrassed about it because no one's going to remember.
I love that. I find that so freeing and I think empowering in terms of like live your life and you get to be unapologetically yourself and thus attracting people that really support and love you and care for you for who you truly are rather than trying to put your best foot forward. I like that. I like that a lot. Cara, how would you describe your streaming style?
Let's see, genuine. I like to think I'm funny and then just long stream.
Really? Do you not get any of that burnout? Do you just you enjoy the game of being live and just doing your thing?
I just love the games I'm playing. If I don't like the game, I just don't play the game, Like I just play games that I like and hope that people stay because they like how I conduct myself.
Yeah. I was watching a bit of your stream today, and like I started feeling guilty. Like I was like, this Cara is going live for 6 hours and then joining me here on this show. And like I just started thinking, I was like,
I was actually on hour 8.
What happened? Did something happen to your stream?
No, I was on 8 hours. I guess it would be like I started at like 11:30 today, maybe 7.5 hours, something like that.
Jeez, you just Iron Woman with that. Like you are the truest, the realest of real. You putting your time in there. That's like I get tired after like 3 hours, 4 hours, but you're putting in an easy, cool 6, 7, 8. That's sick. I like that.
I mean, honestly, I have nothing else to do. I'd be so bored if I wasn't streaming.
True.
Like I'd be playing video games anyway because I'd be so bored. So I might as well stream the video games, you know?
How do you know, mental health is always a big discussion here for content creators. How do you keep yourself mentally healthy, especially with these long form streams that you do consistently?
I count myself lucky that I'm fairly healthy mentality wise.
Yeah.
Like I only have ADHD, but I kind of feel like that helps me almost. Yeah, I'm very lucky. I've never had depression or bipolar or anything like that. And I know that's not, it may not be common, but like if I'm having an off day, I won't stream, but I'm just lucky that I happen to be pretty stable, I suppose.
That's awesome.
I don't know how to word this. I feel like I'm tiptoeing.
No, I like, it sounds like for you, it's just like, you don't really, I mean, being a little bit brash in my wording, but like, you just don't feel that side of burnout for content creation or for streaming in general. And so it's a bit, and especially I love that you say that your ADD kind of empowers you. It's almost your advantage because you're able to be constantly engaging. And the thing about, with whether it be YouTube, Twitch, whatever it may be, to have that mentality of being able to switch between games and constantly bring that energy, I think plays to your advantage more than your detriment.
Yeah, like if something gets me down, I literally just forget about it. I just don't remember that it happened.
Okay,
so
I need that superpower. That's amazing.
I can just go back to like fun and happy,
If anyone asks you that question, like, what superpower would you ever get? People are like, I want to fly or teleport or super. I would be like, no, whatever the fuck Cara just said. I want to forget things and just be okay.
Yeah.
I want to not think about every insecurity I got or what I fucked up. I say, it's fine. Let's move on. I like that. Damn. How about this? All right, Cara, let's talk about the people that gas you up. Let's talk about your community. All right. If I asked your community who you are, and I had no idea prior, what do you think they would say to me? All right.
They would probably ask to be like released from the dungeon or something, or say like, help, we're kidnapped or something like that.
Oh, excuse me? What? Yeah. What are you, why would you assume that? Why would you think that they're going to say that kind of stuff, Cara? I'm out of curiosity. I gotta ask.
It's just a running joke in the stream, Like I call myself the dictator of the stream because it's like my word is law. Whatever I say goes. If I don't like you, you're banned. Go, like get out of here,
Yeah. Unchain us. Get us from the basement. That is brutal. Again, this is why context is so important. They need to understand. So that's what, fair play. And honestly, I think that's a good community. One that could just joke around with you and kind of, roast you a little bit. And so when new people do show up, it's like they kind of have to judge, all right, is this a meme or am I getting, like, is she actually, like, she got a dungeon?
I'd rather have a community that, like, busts my balls rather than just like hangs on my every word and agrees with everything I say,
Yeah, definitely. I think it also keeps the streamer sharp. We can't have our ego boosted too highly. All right, we needed some people to humble us and make sure that we look a little bit weird, a little bit sus when we're online here trying to explain to a new person what's going on. That's dope. Let's flip the question. All right, let's flip the question around. If I asked your community, if you describe your community to me, if I showed up to your stream and said, Cara, Tell me about these amazing usernames that are surrounding me. What would you say of your community?
I would say for some reason they're still here, and I don't know why. but they're here.
They've stuck around. They
They've
just
stuck around. I don't know why.
they're paying rent. It's just at this point they might as well just be co-streaming. I got it. All right. So they just show up. It sounds like they show up and they hang out, they vibe out, they interact with you, and do you know what it is about your stream or you as a person that is able to encapsulate people?
If I'm being purely objective,
Yeah.
and I think it's because I have a genuine sort of nature about me. I tell them when I'm mad, I tell them when I'm upset, or I say when I'm happy about something. I don't let shitty behavior fly at all. I'm very strict about that. I call people out when they do something wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's just I don't take shit, and I say what's on my mind. I just say the truth. Yeah.
I love that. And I think that's necessary. I think a lot of times creators can lean into I'm going to put a mask, or I'm going to oversell love and all that, where those expectations, especially when a creator makes a mistake, those expectations are so drastic that then the judgment is so harsh. So you being who you are, I think, like you said, it makes people gravitate to you, and they know that they're not getting anything. Yeah, I think so, at least, and based off what I'm hearing and the things I've seen, I believe so too. I'm gonna ask you one tricky question though about your community, all right? And then we'll move into the life stories here. How has your community helped you in a way that they aren't aware of?
I think when I'm feeling unsure about myself, or when I get into my own head too much, they kind of ground me and bring me back. Like sometimes in games there'll be like a tricky situation where I maybe get like a little too salty, and I'll be like, chat, be real with me. Was I being an asshole? And then they'll be like, yeah, Cara, you're kind of an asshole. And I'm like, oh shit, you're right. I gotta apologize. Or I'll be like, hey chat, this thing happened to me. Like, what would you suggest? And then they'd help me, like give me advice or something. Or like I could be like, chat, was I in the wrong there? And they'd be like, no, Cara, that guy was an asshole. And I'm like, thank you. You're right. You know?
That's amazing, because it sounds like, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you kind of you have your community as like a pseudo conscience of sorts.
Kind of, yeah.
And that's so cool, where it's like they are able to either correct you or to gas you up and support you according to the situation. Has there been an instance where that's backfired, where maybe the community's interpretation of something was incorrect and you're like, oh, that's, we all read this wrong, I guess?
Not really. I tend to, usually there are a couple people in stream whose opinion I hold in much higher regard. So usually when they say something, I'll be like, oh shit, yeah, you're right, Even if the rest of the chat is like, no, Cara, you're fine. If those one or two people are like, actually, ooh, I'd be like, oh yeah, huh?
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. Especially those that maybe have been there longer or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
They're able to know you from a wider range. So that's fair play. I like that. Damn. You might have the dopest community I've ever heard. Like every streamer I've had on here always has kind of a love-hate, and not, it hate's a heavy word, but a love-hate relationship where it's like, all right, we're all hitting this together, we're enjoying ourselves, and then the hate part is the roasts that go back and forth. But yours is the first time I've ever heard kind of a pseudo-subconscious or moral compass, if you may. You could literally, they're like, it's like Magic 8 Ball. You could be like, Cara's community, did I fuck up this time? Was I too mean? Ask again later kind of deal. Like, I love that. That's so cool. I love that a ton. Well, it's as easy as that. That's the first part of the show, Cara. All right? It's breezy. Okay? Now, we're gonna then lean into a bit of your life story. Before we do you have to use the restroom at all? You need any water? Like this is super informal.
Yes, I would like to get some water.
Go
I'll be
ahead. We
right
could
back.
switch off later. Yeah, go ahead. All of you guys that are watching here live on Twitch, thank you so much for being a part of this, man. Cara's dope. I can see what you all are talking about. She is very much a real one. Like, it's amazing to hear her just pick her brain about all this stuff, whether it be content creation, her journey. You all, it's funny because it feels like I don't feel like I know we're live. It's like talking about someone that's also in the room, if that makes sense. Like it's like it's fascinating to see how that goes. Yeah, she's all right. All right, she's all yeah. Way to hype her up. Yeah, she's all right. Yeah, it's all right. She ran away. I know. Oh no. Please let us out of the basement. She can still hear you. Oh, she can still hear. I
have
forget.
wireless headphones.
I
Yeah,
forget
can
about
hear
that.
everything.
That's on me. I forget about that. Cara, this is the switch off. All right. I'm gonna go get some water as well. The chat is yours. The
Okay.
community is yours. Give me like 1 minute. All right. I'll be right back.
Okay. Chat, don't you embarrass me in front of people, okay? How dare you do this? Don't make me look bad, okay? Or else you don't get any food. No food this week. If you make me look bad, don't embarrass me. Please. You're talking shit in my chat? Do I have to open my chat too? Unbelievable. Now I have to look at mine. I see you, Neville. I see you. Scatter. I was gonna compliment you guys. Unbelievable. Anyway. You guys are so funny. I love y'all. I mean, no, I don't. Baka. So anyway, I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. I recorded the thing with Nerd Out today. I don't know how much I can say though, but I recorded me singing and I'm just like, oh God, this sounds so bad. Why would they ask me to do this? They probably hate it. Oh, they hate me. Oh God. I don't know why they wanted me to do this. I don't know if I don't think I can give you a sample. I don't know like what I'm allowed to show.
They giving you a hard time, Cara?
A little bit.
A little bit. All right. All right. You could also. This is very casual. All right, Cara. I promise. Do whatever. If you ever have to use the restroom, if you want to cuss, if you want to eat something right now, I wouldn't mind at all. But you know, this is out of formality. We say interview, but in my opinion, it's more a conversation. You know, we're just here to learn about you. So that being said, we're gonna lean over to the main part of the show. This is the heart of the show. All right, it's the reason why I do what I do. It's the content creator's life story. So before we get started, I always tell the guests, as well as those that are watching live here on Twitch or in the future on YouTube or listening on Spotify, the same thing, which is this. Any individual, content creator or not, that's willing to share their life story should be respected and it should be treasured. You know, we all live a very complex life. I believe the word is sonder, that realization that we're all living our own realities there.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I
always want to respect that. And I always want to make sure the guest is as comfortable as possible. So that being said, you know, if there are any questions that you don't feel comfortable answering, that may be too deep or too much, feel free to give me a non-answer. Feel free to be vague or general. Feel free to just tell us, like, hey, I don't feel comfortable, move on. And that's no problem. I will keep the conversation going along. and it's just completely like you have control of this part of the show. I think that's what makes these kind of things different. Yes.
I have a question. Yes.
Of course.
Is there anything I shouldn't talk about?
There's no such thing. I mean, as long as it's not
Okay.
TOS, but
Okay.
you
Okay.
I got nothing. I got nothing. I like to give
Cool.
you guys the full reign there, but all right.
Okay.
I say all of that, and then the first part is always the toughest in terms of asking this. So here it goes. All right, we're going to talk about your family and you generally growing up. So without doxing yourself, where were you kind of born and raised, whether it be a city, state, general region? Where were you born and raised, Cara?
I was born in South Carolina. Well, I was born in Georgia, but only because the city I was raised in did not have a hospital. So my parents had to cross the border to Georgia for me to be born. And then I grew up in South Carolina.
Nice.
Also, wait, can I see your shirt?
Yes, Huskies, Washington, University of Washington Huskies. Why?
I went to UW.
No, wait, what?
I did. I went to UW.
You're gonna hate me for this. I didn't. I just like the shirt.
Take that shirt off.
Relax, Cara. All right, I'm the host of this show. No, it's the reason. Let me explain to you the reason. All right, my brother went there, and okay. Cara, I'm sorry. I'm a phony. God, this is gonna be embarrassing to admit. I 100% got waitlisted there, and so okay, great, thanks. My show was 2 weeks ago. All right, I did my own show 2 weeks ago, and now you're over here. This is the harshest roast. I think I'm the one Filipino in the Washington State area that wasn't allowed in the University of Washington. All right, and they have the coolest merch. And then I went to the freaking, I don't even want to tell you where I went, but I went to the nice Christian school that accepted anyone. All right, Cara, this is where you put me in. And now I stream. Thank you. Thank you for that, Cara. Thank you for ruining me. That's brutal. But I did not realize, wait, you went to UW. You got me fucked up already. We'll cover that in a later segment. All right, if I can muster up the courage to ask the questions there, telling me essentially what I missed out on, not going to the UW. But any siblings? Any siblings growing up?
I have a younger brother.
No way, nice. Just the two of you?
Just the two of us.
How much is the age range between both of you?
He is 3 years younger.
Nice. Pretty close with your brother? What's the dynamic like between the two?
Not at all. So I actually haven't spoken to him in a few years, but not because like we have anything against each other. We're just not interested in each other's lives.
Okay, how does that work? Can you explain to me how that works? I'm out of curiosity, without going too deep if you don't want to. But in terms of that, it's family. There's always a connotation with family. There's some sort of connection.
Personally, I just haven't talked to my family in a long time. Not because like we don't have. Well, there's a lot to unpack.
Okay.
As it is with most families.
Yes.
So we'll start on my brother. As a kid, I was not very nice to my brother. I don't know why. I was like a really mean older sister. Like I still loved him, but like I would tease him and pick on him a lot. I don't know why I did this. I was stupid. I was a really mean older sister, and I don't know why. Like I just don't get it. I don't know why I did that. But like I'm sure that has I was just stupid. I'm sure it has some bearing of like how our relationship ended up. But like when we got to like middle school, high school, like things were fine. Like we played video games together. Like we would like read books together. We'd watch movies together. Like we liked the same stuff. Like we both loved video games. So we played lots of video games together when we got to like middle school, high school. But then I like left for college and I got my own life, and then I immediately moved out. Like I didn't stay in my house past 18 just because like I wanted to be independent and do my own thing. And then my brother, he's always been more dependent on people. So he still lives at home, and I don't even know if he has a job. He's never had a relationship. But he's content.
Yeah.
He's fine with that. He doesn't mind that he's doing nothing with his
Yeah.
life. But and I've had to accept that.
Hmm.
I wish he did something with his life, but if he's happy, I can't really fault him for being happy, you
Yeah.
know?
Hmm. No, I feel that.
But like I think just every time I talk to him, it's just like I wish you would try to make something with your life. You only have one life and I wish you would do something with it, you know? So I like just don't want to talk to him.
You give me such older sibling vibes. Like this is the quintessential older sibling. I have an older brother as well, and it's the same.
Mhm.
Like, what are you doing, buddy? Like, what's going on? Like, did you, in terms of your, I guess, relationship or your where your I don't want to say status, but where you are with your family, being the oldest, as well as someone who's been doing a lot more with their time. Do you feel some sort of pressure from your family or from yourself even?
No. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
myself, I just want to be independent. I just want like I just want to do enough so I can be independent and not rely on anybody. That was my whole goal in life. I just don't want to rely on anybody.
Hmm.
But my brother only relies on people, so it's so counter to everything that I stand for.
Yeah.
That's why it like messes with me.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and my parents have said that they're proud of me. They're
Mhm.
happy that I can make a living with what I do, and they're happy that my dad, especially, he's really funny. He always just says like, as long as he's not paying my rent, he's proud of me. You know?
That's quintessential dad joke, by the way. I love
Yeah.
that. That's a layup. Love it. That's dope.
Hmm.
What is it about
Yeah.
independence that attracts you, especially at such a young age that you knew you didn't want to
Um,
be tied with anything or anyone else?
I think because like I hate to bring like gender into it, but
Sure.
being a woman, I feel like it's always like assumed that the woman's going to rely on like their husband or I guess other wife
Yeah.
for stuff. I
Yeah.
want to be inclusive.
Yeah.
Um, and growing up, I had a lot of family members who didn't do anything with their life but relied on their husbands. And then when they would get divorced, they would have to rely on their family or
Mm,
their friends. And like they just became like a weight on other people,
wow. Yeah.
you know? Like so growing up seeing that and seeing like I just didn't want to become that kind of person.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. Oh my gosh. You are literally reminding me of my brother. Like, both went to UW, both questioning the younger siblings' decisions, and both. I swear, if he handed you a script to read, Cara, I would not be shocked. That's the worst part. I would not be shocked.
Mhm.
But I feel that. Like I love that, especially again before you were even 18, you had that self
Yeah.
recognition that I want to be independent and I want to live my own life and especially not be a burden to anyone. Not even, we're not just talking family, to anyone. I just want to be, you want to do you.
In fact, that was part of my admission essay to UW.
Stop. Okay, Cara, this is what this is supposed to be a show, not a roast. All right, these are subtweets. Oh, am I gonna see this? Can you add me on your alt so I can see at least the stuff you're gonna be saying after the show, Cara? Is this?
I didn't mean it that way. I
No,
honestly didn't. I was
I'm
just
okay.
saying like it's so ingrained that I used it as part of like my essay to get into my college, you know?
That's beautiful, though.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean to throw shade.
I'm
Like I
joking.
actually didn't.
I'm messing with you. But I love that a lot. Like I love that self-awareness of being your own
Mhm.
person. And even though it's like it's a very general thought process, it's such also a sharpened identity to be aware of that at
Mhm.
a young age. I think that's cool. I love that. Let's talk about your parents. You kind of touch on them a little
Yeah.
bit. What kind of household was it growing up? Was it a strict household? Was it pretty loose? Well, what was it like being the eldest in your family there in your house?
It was actually pretty chill.
Mhm.
My parents were always they were very understanding of like my hobbies and what I wanted to do. Like I had friends who were not ever allowed to go like spend the night at friends'
Yeah.
places. But my family was the opposite. They're like, "Hey, do you want to go spend the night at your friend's house like tonight?" And I'm like, "Okay." You know?
Yeah. It sounds like they're
"Get
trying to
out
get
of
rid of
house,
you at that
please."
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, let's get it out of here. You want to
Like
go?
they were always chill. Like if I wanted to do something, they'd be like, okay, sure, go do it. Like if I wanted to like go catch frogs in the park, they'd be like, all right, go catch your frogs. Or if I wanted to, I don't like, as long as I'm not hurting myself or anyone else, they pretty much just let me do what I want as long as like I was respectful and polite about things,
Yeah.
which I think it was very great that they did that. And like even as a young kid, my parents would tell me like about like where babies come from, what is sex,
Mhm.
like they say like, Cara, if you ever love a man or a woman, we don't care. We just want you to be happy. Like they were very
Wow.
open about all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Wow, I'm still a little bit hung up on you capturing frogs. I didn't realize we were back in the 1900s, but like that's so sick. Like your family being so welcoming and allowing you to find your identity and who you are as a person,
Oh yeah.
and supportive of that. That's beautiful. That's awesome. Tell me, let's go down the line here. Since we've already talked about your brother, let's talk about, for example, your ma. Tell me about your relationship between you and your ma.
Ooh. um so my mom and I have the worst relationship personally.
Mhm.
She like even though she was very open, allowed me to do a lot of stuff, like I love her for that. She was great.
Yeah.
My chat knows what's coming. She's God. It just seemed like she had undiagnosed like bipolar or like narcissistic personality disorder.
Yeah.
She was very much the narcissistic mother
Mm.
type,
Mhm.
like very cliche, like very focused on looks. She would tell me all the time, like, like she focused on looks a lot, at
Yeah.
least. Like there was one time when I remember like very distinctly when I was 15, she said like, "Oh, Cara, you're starting to get wrinkles on your neck. You should do something about that." And I'm like, "What?"
What? At 15?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
And I'm like, "What? Where? What?" Yeah. She always wanted to do what I would do. She would
Mhm.
always shop where I would shop for clothes. Like it was it was weird. It was
Yeah.
very weird. Um and like this not so much, but I remember her always saying like, Car, if you ever want to get plastic surgery, that's totally fine. And then she would like say specific parts of my face. And I'm like,
Jeez.
why are you pointing this out? What?
This is not even a subtweet. This is just straight up. This is like, yeah, we can do
but
it.
it's like I know she meant it. I guess she tried to mean it in a good way,
Mhm.
but the way it just, you know what I mean? You get
Yeah,
it.
100%. Out of curiosity, Cara, like how did
Mhm.
this affect you growing up in terms of you, especially at those like formative years of teenage, preteen years where, a little bit impressionable. We're trying to figure out our identity, figure out who we are in
Mhm.
this world. And you're hearing those kind of comments thrown at you. How did that affect you in your mental or emotional?
Luckily, I did not get an eating disorder or anything, so that was good. But like I still feel like I have a chip on my shoulder where if I'm not like attractive enough, people are not going to like me, Like I still feel that sometimes even though I know it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I still feel that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. I'm sorry. Like
Yeah.
I mean, first and foremost, you're beautiful, Cara. I mean, and you
Thank
don't need
you.
me to be validating that
I
at
know.
all.
Thank you.
But that's I'm sorry that was kind of the upbringing of
Mhm.
especially coming from your parent. That's someone that
Yeah.
you're the first people you meet in this world. So to hear those kind of whether it be yeah, there might have been good intentions, but the plating of it was a bit
Mhm.
rough. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. I do have to add, but she
Yes.
did always say that I'm beautiful, that I'm
Okay.
pretty. Like she
Yeah.
would also give me affirmations,
Yeah.
but like just every so often would be the like Cara, you could always get plastic surgery on your nose. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? What?
Yeah. Where is this coming from?
Yeah, but she would say like all the time, like, oh, you're so beautiful. I'm so
Mhm.
happy for you. Like you're gorgeous. That
Mm.
looks great on you. She would always say that stuff.
Yeah. it sounds like it balances it out. Like it's supposed to be some
And
sort of.
hopefully balanced, yeah.
Okay. How about your relationship with your dad?
My dad and I mean, we're not close, but we're closer than my mom and I. I'm just not close to any of my family.
Yeah.
I just don't get close to people. I don't know.
Hmm.
But my dad is like very funny. He's an engineer, so that's where I get my science from. Always found him to be more down to earth. He was more stable than my mother, at least. I don't
Yeah.
know how he dealt with her. He was a saint for dealing with her all the time. Because like I literally cannot be in the same house for more than a day
Yeah.
with her. I don't know how he did it. Well, they're divorced now. My mom initiated it. I was so surprised it wasn't my dad. But like he was a saint. I don't know how.
Hmm.
But yeah, my dad was great. He's very into music. Like his superpower is you can ask him about any song and he'll tell you who it's written by, when it was released, how long it was number one for.
What?
Like he's like a savant. I don't
He is
know how
a
he does it.
Walking Shazam. Like he
is,
is
yes.
able to identify. That's wild.
Yeah, not even like old songs, even like new songs. He just keeps up with every single song that's coming out.
To this day,
So,
if
like,
we asked. To this day,
yes,
tracks like
yes.
top 100. Really?
Yes. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. He
You-
records the top 100 listings
Mhm.
on what was it? On every solstice, every equinox, and then I think like halfway in between those. Yeah.
Dang.
So he has just like a closet full of top 100 song listings. That's just like his thing. That's his hobby.
That's sick though. That's so
Yeah.
cool. I love that because there's so many times when I forget about music, like, and we're talking even like your favorite tracks. Like, you know, a couple of years go by and then you suddenly go on a Spotify playlist and you're like, oh, I'm reconnected with that. And that's cool. But like for your pops to like categorize and just know that is built different, like an absolute machine in that, right? That's sick. I like that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Cara. All right. What I love about this show and what I love about the internet in general, it's so easy to make evergreen content. You know, we're able to capture a moment. I don't think of myself as a content creator. I consider myself as someone who captures memories and moments. And that's what this show is all about. Now, you know, the thing about this show too is I want to create a moment with you here tonight.
Okay.
So time is always moving. It's a depreciating asset that we have that you know, we can't get back of. And, you know, who knows, down the line, maybe a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you can come back to this VOD, to this little interview, and you can reconnect with your past self and maybe even flourish in some of your old memories and stories that you shared here tonight. But the question I have for you is this. You know, with time always moving forward, what is something that you would like to say to your family that they should never forget about you, especially where you go off in life in terms of your career and your life? What is something you want to capture here tonight that they should know about you?
That even though I don't talk to them very often, I still love them deeply.
I love that. I love that. I think that's always a good little reminder because I think what's tough about with parents, I don't know if you're experiencing this, there's a lot of assumptions where it's just like, oh, they're not speaking to us, therefore, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But we're also trying to live our life and grow and find some sort of balance too. So I see that in you. Like I can see your appreciation even through all those stories. And don't worry, we can clip out the rest of the stuff, all right? If you want to just have this nice moment to share with your parents, you can clip all the rest of the other stories out. But I love that, Cara. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate that. Let me ask this, all right? We've talked about everyone in your family, but I want to talk about you. Tell us who KaraCorvus was growing up during those preteen to teenage years. Who were you during that time in your life?
Oh my God, I was a fucking dork.
What? What? Why?
Yeah, I was a little scrawny, little ugly kid dork. Piece of shit, you know?
Why would you define yourself as such? What are some attributes during that time in your life that would have defined you as a piece of shit dork thing that you just said?
I was just I was so scared, so shy of like the world and people and meeting new people. I was like the wallflower always. You know, like it wasn't until like college where I just realized like, oh, I don't give a shit, you know? But like middle school, elementary school, high school, I was bad at everything.
Everything we're talking.
I was just
education,
bad at life.
social.
Oh no, I got good grades. I was very good at school.
Okay, there you go. But in terms of anything else aside from school, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was bad at talking. I was bad at interacting with people. I was so antisocial just because I was scared. I was shy. I was so scared about what people thought of me, you know?
Wow. Yeah.
Like looking back, I'm like, oh, you're so fucking stupid. Like, why? You know?
There's so much I know, but that's looking back. You know, that's looking at coulda, shoulda, woulda. But that does. I appreciate the honest assessment of yourself there. This is a perfect transition from family and your general growing up to the least sexy topic that I need a new name for, which is education. All right? Let's talk about who you were during those high school to college years. I'm sure you're familiar with all the cliques and stereotypes of students. You got the jocks, the preppy kids and nerds, the stoners, whatever it may be. Where do you believe you fell under that spectrum of stereotypes and why?
Oh, I was a nerd. Like I played Ragnarok online with my friends all the time.
Oh my God. What? Ragnarok online? That is a name I haven't heard in years.
I played World of Warcraft. Yeah, I read books for fun. Which is fine. Reading books for fun is great. I just don't have time for it anymore. But I know books, nerd.
Yeah, the stock going down at this. What are some of the books you read? Like, if I wanted people to turn off the stream right now, I would ask, honestly though, what books were you reading back in the day?
Honestly, one of my favorite books, and this is like such a weird answer, but I love Brave New World. Have you read that?
I don't read it, but don't let the glasses fool you. I haven't read it all. But Brave New World, what is it about it that you were entangled by it?
Just like the society they created, because like everyone was basically genetically modified in that book. So you had like the alphas, the betas, the gammas, the deltas, and the epsilons. And so the alphas were like unique people that had the best intelligence, the best athletics, the best attractiveness, and then beta was one step down, and then like I think I said delta twice, but deltas were like there were copies of people. So each person, there were like 10 of them everywhere, and then epsilons are basically like ape humans that were only good for menial labor. And just like the world and like how they dealt with the problems really like resonated with me. Well, it shouldn't resonate with me because it's actually a really shitty time in that book. Everyone has a really shitty time, but I just thought it was very interesting, I guess.
Which one of those? Because clearly, you're reading it and you can't, I don't know if between you and I, but like when I read a book, I can't help but put myself into the story some way, somehow, or where I resonate within it. Oh, you just read objectively.
Well, for that book, you just read objectively. You don't really see yourself in any of the characters because terrible things happen to the characters.
All right. Now I do have to take a look at this. I need to spark notes this book. That showed my age right there. Giving that reference right there, telling you usually people would just YouTube the story. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I remember spark notes.
It's that. Yeah, I already get called old enough here online. Like I'm just trying to zoom in. If you were to classify yourself in one of those categories, the alphas, the betas, the deltas, which one would you be and why?
I mean, I feel like I'd be an alpha. Like I feel like I'm like attractive and I'm pretty smart. Like I think I would have like been one of the genetically modified alphas,
Yeah. Okay.
Because the other characters were actually pretty dumb. If you weren't an alpha, you're pretty dumb in the book.
I feel. Is your community agreeing with you or are they not?
They are, yes.
Okay, Fair play. All right, we'll give you the alpha. All right, total alpha move right there.
Like it's not even don't even think of the word alpha. It was just categorizations.
Okay, fair play.
Like it could be any word. It could be any word.
The word alpha and beta just is totally lost between the whole, the meme of it all.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, don't think of the meaning of alpha. It could be any arbitrary word for that, for the categorization of person.
Fair play. Let's take you back to high school, though. All right. So we got that you were more of the shy, outcasted person, all that jazz. Tell me this. I'll ask you the layup questions, of course. What was your subject? What was your go-to subject in high school that you just thrived at and that you loved?
Science.
Mm-hmm. And why was that?
I just thought it was extremely interesting. I always had fun in science class. 100%. I even joined Science Bowl. In high school, I was part of Science Bowl. I was in Math Club. I was in Knowledge Bowl. So I'd go to like competitions.
Yeah.
Just answering trivia questions. I was in French Club, like all that stuff.
You are no wonder you got into UW. All right, you star-studded with this stuff. Your resume's too robust. Damn. So okay, you doing it all there. Sciences was your go-to. How about in terms of co-curriculars? What were some clubs or sports or anything that you were doing in high school?
Yeah, so I said those, and then I did tennis in high school.
Okay.
Yes.
To this day, you still you mess around with it?
I want to, but no. Nowadays I only do like weightlifting stuff, but I don't. Yeah, I don't have time to play tennis or place.
Fair play, of course. How about this? Was there ever a memory, okay, both good or bad, of your high school journey or career that is something that has shaped you to this very day? So it could be something bad where it's like, oh shit, this thing happened and I'll learn from that lesson, or something good where it's like, yo, I'll never forget this. This is the glory days, or this is the good old days. It's something that I still hang my hat on to this very day.
High school was very lackluster for me. Like I was pretty much just going through the motions. Like I had friends in high school, but there's so many people who I hear were like, oh, high school, that was like my glory days. That was my prime. And I'm like, fuck no, what? Like I just went to school just to get it over with, like
just get it over. You went through the motions, as you said.
Yeah. Like I had friends, like I enjoyed it for the most part, but like I wouldn't say there's anything that really shaped me per se.
Nothing memorable. You just wanted to get out of there.
And nothing really memorable, honestly.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Well,
the cookies were good.
What if I asked you, like, specifically what cookies? Specifically, where did you get them? Was it a blood drive? Was this the
Yes, I would tell you exactly, yes.
What?
They were chocolate chip cookies. You could buy 3 for $1 at the little side shop in the math building during lunch. You could get them there.
Who's peddling cookies in your high school? That I got double chocolate chip.
It's just like a little store that some students would work at, and so they sold cookies, they sold like drinks, they sold other stuff, but the cookies like 3 for $1, and they were so good. Like, yes,
that's a steal. That's nice. That's nice. All right, fair play. Let me take you to your final weeks of high school then. All right. So you're getting the cap and gown, you're sending out invitations to family and friends to join you at your graduation, prom, all that stuff already happens. What was the next steps for KaraCorvus upon graduating? Was it going to a 4-year college, community college, work, taking a break? What was your next steps and why did you make that decision?
Well, you already know where I went to college. I went to UW right after.
And why UW?
Because it was a good school. It was in Washington because I moved to Washington when I was in middle school.
Oh, nice.
So it was in-state tuition. It was the best school in Washington, and like it just was.
Okay, didn't even consider Wazoo, Seattle Pacific, Western.
I mean, I only applied to Wazoo and UW.
Damn.
I got like a hefty scholarship for Wazoo, but like I ain't going to Wazoo.
Wasn't for
Fuck
you.
that.
Yeah, I got what you're throwing down. That's between the Washingtonians here. All right, I got you.
This is a Washingtonian thing, yeah.
Didn't even breathe on SPU. We don't even. They're across the water. We don't care about them. Let me ask this though. You made your decision to go to UW, and what were you studying again formally? What did you graduate with?
So I initially was studying chemical engineering. Because my dad was a chemical engineer, and then his dad was a chemical engineer. You know, it was going through the family. And then I remember junior year, I had I had DiffEq, matrix algebra. I had a programming class, and then I also had I forget which physics class it was. I don't even remember. But I'm like taking all these classes, and I'm like, wow, I'm depressed. So I switched my major.
To what?
Biology.
Gotcha. Was the depression just was it being overwhelmed by the workload? Was it not being passionate about what you're studying, or a combination of both?
Yeah, it was both of those. Like I really just wanted to do engineering because I knew it made a lot of money. And like I'm doing all this math and physics and stuff, and I didn't really care for it, because I loved biology stuff, and I loved animals, and I loved learning about cells and stuff like that. So I was not learning what I wanted to learn. So then eventually I was like, fuck it, I'll make it work somehow. So I switched my major to biology, and then I graduated with a degree in evolutionary biology.
Damn, that's sick. Holy cow. You mentioned earlier on the show that it wasn't until college that you really broke out of that shell and you really started discovering not just who you were, but embodying this mindset of, fuck what everyone else thinks about me. I'm going to do me. All right. Can you give us some memories of your college career where you started to see yourself evolve into that person?
I mean, I think I don't know if there was just a moment where it happened. I think it was more just I'm making friends with all these new people. I'm finding out that they're just like me with insecurities and shit that they hate and love.
Yeah.
And I'm like, every single person here is just like me. So I'm going to try to put myself in their perspective. So after I would just spend hours thinking about this sort of stuff, just putting myself in the perspectives and shoes of other people, just trying to get an understanding of how they operated. And just over time, I just realized wow, I don't give a shit when people do stuff. So why do they give a shit when I do stuff?
Yeah. I love that. No, exactly.
Yeah.
And you grew from there. You blossomed from there. Tell me, did you dorm over at UW?
I did, yes.
Nice. Tell me the experience there. I mean, the dorms, Greek row, all of that over at the university. I'm just giving a big ad to the UW at this point at the game.
So I didn't really hang out at the Greek row very often. I went to one party my freshman year.
Oh, boy.
I had beer spilled all over me, and then I'm like, fuck this. I don't care about this. I never went back. I never went to any more parties.
Unreal. All right. Then, so what did you do with your free time? Unless were you purely studying? Were you purely in the library?
I played video games
In the dorm. Were you playing at least with homies in the dorms when you played?
Yeah. Okay. I'd bring my Wii or whatever out there. I think some people still had an N64 that we would put up a projector and play Mario Kart. And I'd play Super Smash all the time with my people out in the lounge area. And then I got really good at pool because there was a pool table in my dorm. So I would play pool all the time at night with my friends and just stuff like that. Yeah.
Damn. What are some of your favorite memories of your time in college?
I had a really good friend. And funny enough, his name was Jordan. I had a friend named Jordan. My roommate was also named Jordan. It was a different Jordan.
Okay.
Somehow I have a lot of friends named Jordan. I don't know how it happened. But so I had a friend named Jordan, and like you've seen the UW campus, right? Like it's
Beautiful.
huge.
Yeah, huge.
It's beautiful. It's huge. There's like random shit everywhere. So like every couple days we would like go out and just explore the campus and find new shit and take pictures of just new stuff we'd find on campus. And every single time we went out, we'd find new stuff on campus because it's so big and it's so old that there's just stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
So it was just the exploration of it all. You just loved
Yeah.
diving
I think
into
that
the
was
place.
that was my favorite part, yeah.
I have to ask, all right, one more Washingtonian question. All right.
Mhm.
This is just me leaning into it. The Ave. What were the places that you frequent? What were the places you
Oh
frequent,
my
Cara?
God. So I loved eating pho, especially in Seattle. You got to have pho because it's always cold and moist and damp. So my favorite place, there were like 5 pho places on the Ave. So I'd go to one called Pho Tran, which is my favorite because they had the best meatballs, the best like meatball bits. Yeah. And there was one place that served like teriyaki. I forget what it's called.
Ooh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
There's like at least 10 teriyaki joints along
That
the.
is
To be
true.
fair,
It was like more towards the beginning of the Ave.
And also, so many of their names are like best teriyaki, which I'm like, how many of you guys can really be the best teriyaki here? I don't know. But the beginning of it, okay, fair play. Did you ever try out Thai Tom's?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Sadly closed down. Sadly out of commission. All right.
Really?
Yeah, they gone, man. They gone.
Oh
You
my
gotta make a
God.
visit if this is the case. You gotta visit your stomping grounds, Cara.
I
There's
do.
so much
I haven't
great
been
food.
to Seattle in forever.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But so bringing the focus back to you there. So you spent your years at UW. You finished with your degree. What was it like, especially for those that may be watching that are maybe in that zone of young professional, right after college, where it's like, okay, now I'm really not doing school anymore. What now? What was your decisions during that time in your life that you had to make in terms of your career?
So I had a very different experience. Excuse me, sorry.
No problem.
Because right after college, I moved to Los Angeles.
Mhm.
And then I started working at UCLA, actually.
Wow.
And then I started to do grad school to get my PhD. And then I realized I fucking hated it. So I quit. So I didn't do that anymore. But I still continued to work at UCLA. Yeah, so I worked in like a lab at UCLA for a while. So I also got to know the UCLA campus. And then we're getting to the romantic relationships part, so I'll talk about it then.
That's later.
But I moved to LA because my boyfriend at the time, we moved to LA together because he had a job here. So I also got a job here.
That's
And then
dope. Nice. So you did have things lined up, and you're already kind of, your head was forward with like, all right, I'm gonna go work. I'm just diving into it. That brings us perfectly to this next segment, which is your work history. All right. We do this part similar to a resume. All right. So if you were done with streaming and you were going back into the working world and applying for a job, how many jobs would you put in your work experience section of your resume today?
I mean, it depends on what field I'm going back into. Am I going to go back to being a scientist? Am I going to do stuff in video games? Am I going to do hosting stuff? Am I going to be a consultant? Like, what am I doing?
Jesus, you're doing everything. You've got, see, again, robust resume. Like, this is out of, can I get, you've listed what, 4 of those things, correct? For those categories? Could I get one from each? Do you have that? Do you have experience in one for each?
I mean, the last 3 are, well, oh God. So I've done a lot of stuff. Science wise,
Yes.
I guess I worked at quite a few labs, like some at UW, some at UCLA. And then I got a job at a pharmaceutical company where I was a microbiologist and we were working on a drug that prevented cavities. So I put that on the list.
Hmm.
And then I would say, like, I put all my papers that I've written. I would get all my grants on there, like that kind of stuff, like all the projects I've had. So I do that for the science one. This is very interesting stuff, I'm sure,
Well,
for everyone.
Before we get into the next two parts, all right, let me ask you a little bit about the sciences, because that I would say is the most traditional route you're taking. You know,
Yeah,
you're,
that'd be the most traditional.
what you studied in college and what you know, again, the structure of your education would have led you to that if you weren't doing this. So what was it like doing that normal kind of traditional route of all right, well, I studied this in college, I'm just going into it. Did you feel fulfilled in that career choice or that field of study?
So I think I would have if it weren't for the people I worked with.
Hmm.
Like, so I did work in academia and I thought the things we would do were very interesting. Like I could work more on my own projects that I wanted, which I
Yeah.
thought was great. But then when you realize the rat race that is academia, you kind of get a little disillusioned by it all.
Hmm.
Like for example, the only reason you publish is to get funding, so you can publish to get funding to publish. You know,
Wow.
you don't really have an end. You
Yeah.
just have a means to a means to a means to a means. Like so, once I realized that, I was like, I'm not even doing anything relevant here. Like the things I'm working on, which is like working on oh god, what was it called? Arabidopsis thaliana was our model organism. It's a weed. It looks like a weed.
Hmm.
Um, we were just developing like different like alleles through like genetic mutations.
Hmm.
Like we were anyway. I'm gonna get past that.
All
But
right, fair play.
but like it had nothing to do with anything. Like we were just doing it just to do it, just to publish. Like I just felt like there wasn't anything to it. So I thought like I'm gonna go into industry instead, where what I work on is actually going to be applied to something and become something.
Okay.
So I get into industry. I joined this pharmaceutical company that is basically working on like oral bacteria research.
Mhm.
We're in the middle of an FDA study. So I'm like, wow, this is cool. We're working on things that are actually affecting people. But then you also run into the caveat that you don't get to decide on what you're actually doing,
Mm.
you know? So I worked on this FDA study for like 2 years and it was the same thing day in and day out. Like a monkey could do it after the first week.
Mhm.
And I'm like not learning anything anymore. I'm not having fun anymore. I'm not doing science. I'm just doing tasks. So
Wow.
like the whole reason I became a scientist, I'm no longer doing that.
Yeah.
So after a while, like that was also just I hated that as well. So then I come to the question like, do I just hate everything?
Mhm.
What do I even like?
Yeah. No, that's fair. What did you learn about yourself during that time in your life when you were in the sciences in terms of a career field?
I learned that I don't like it when people tell me what to do.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like
Um,
there's a story attached to this. I feel like there's something
I
to
had
unpack with
a
that.
I had a really shitty boss.
Yeah.
She, forgive my language, was a bitch.
Fair play.
Um, I I hated her.
Yeah.
And for some reason she did not like me, and I don't know why. Like
Mhm.
she would give me a hard time with everything I did. Like I'm always of the mind of like if I'm doing something, I want to know why I'm doing it. You know.
Mhm.
Like I'm not a mindless drone who's just going to do something because I'm told to do it. I want to know why and if there's a good reason. So like there were a bunch of like protocols that I would question because I'm like, why are we doing this step when like we do this step like literally 2 steps later that doesn't affect anything else? And then she'd be like, it doesn't matter, just follow the protocol. And I'm like, but I think the protocol is a little outdated. I think we can make this protocol a little more efficient. And she'd be like, just do the protocol,
Mhm.
like stuff like that.
It sounds very gatekeepy. It sounds like, and also
Yeah,
personal in that, right? Where it's just
very
like,
gate It's very gatekeepy, very micromanaging, which I hate. Like I just hate all of that.
Yeah.
And then I also don't like waking up early. So then I'd have to wake up every day for an 8:30 meeting that could have just been done over email. I don't know why am I here?
That I swear millennials are going to get that tattooed on their arm someday. This could have been an email. I swear, and none of the younger audience will understand any of that. They're just like, oh, whatever. This is not, whatever. Fortnite Among Us, whatever it may be. But so you left the sciences for what? What was next after that career field?
Streaming.
Mm-hmm. And how did we make the connection between the two? What inspired you to be, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I find the two very drastic of one another. So how did you make that leap of faith, that jump between, again, traditional, 9-to-5 research gig, something you studied in college, to now what many, sadly, it's still it's a new thing here in society, in the world of content creation, and so going into more of this work, more of streaming, more of creating your own, finding these passion projects and putting your own spin or your personality on them.
Well, I started streaming while I was working.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I started doing the cosplay and it took off and I started making as much money like streaming as I was working as a scientist.
Wow.
And which is not much. Let's be clear. You do not make money working as a scientist at all, especially living in LA. You do not make money as a scientist. So I quit my job after 3 months of doing my science work or of doing my streaming work. And they asked like, is there anything we can do to keep you on? And I'm like, pay me more. And they're like, we can't do that. And I'm like, guess I'm going then.
I don't get paid enough to deal with this manager kind of deal.
Exactly, yeah.
How was, I know you were an adult at the time, and I know you mentioned earlier that your parents are very supportive of what you're doing, but how was that initial conversation when you were telling them, hey, I'm actually leaving this, my gig with, or did you ever tell them? Because I know
I didn't. No, I don't tell them anything. Not because I don't want to, but like I don't care. Like I'm not seeking their approval. I don't care what they say. I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and I'll tell them eventually. They'll find out eventually.
They'll find this somewhere in the internet and be like, oh, okay, so she's, there we go. And how did they find out then?
I mean, I'm sure at some point I was like, oh, by the way, I'm not a scientist anymore. And then they'll be like, what? Why? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing this other thing now, but it's fine. I don't need money.
Yeah. Okay, that's you could have put that. If any other better phrase. I do this thing now. I don't need the money. I don't need it. It's fine. Yeah. I'm good. Yeah. Let's leave it.
I don't need your money. It's fine.
Let's keep it as vague as possible. I think that's what makes it better there. So going into this world of, a creative space, into content creation, all right, give us a little bit of the behind the scenes. You've been doing this for quite a while, 2016 to present. What are some things you've learned about the industry, as well as yourself, during your experience, whether it be in cosplaying? I know you in your bio you mentioned being an actress, a model, and all of this. What are some of your experiences that you've learned, that have shaped who you are today?
I mean, I think we touched upon this a little bit. But like streaming, even though I said before in college, I kind of developed the I don't give a fuck attitude. Like, you still have to train and practice your social skills to be good at them.
Yeah.
So nowadays, like with streaming, I feel like I've gotten a lot better at just communicating and articulating myself to people. I'm sure the early days of my stream, I sounded more awkward. But I think nowadays I definitely feel like I present myself a little bit better. Like I know sometimes I'll be like, oh man, I'm totally an introvert. And then people will be like, you're an introvert? What? I don't see it.
Yeah.
But it's because I train myself to communicate well. So I think streaming has definitely helped me with that, because you always have to be entertaining. You always have to be talking, always articulating your thoughts. Like, you get it.
Here on Twitch, Yeah, I want to ask. I want you to teach me something. All right, in terms of experiences that I'm not myself able to live through, and what I mean by that is this. You know, a hot topic as of recent years is female content creators in terms of the. I mean, we can go down the list. More exposure, the way they're treated by a community that is predominantly male. Can you give us your experience being a female content creator here on Twitch? Oh, go on.
Yeah. It sucks. I'm gonna be real. It's very tough. Like if you don't have a thick skin, you're going to spiral into like a depressive state. It sucks. Like nowadays, like I've gotten to the point where I just don't even acknowledge it anymore. But like every day you get sexual comments, I get rape threats, I get death threats just for existing as a woman on the internet, like it unfortunately it comes with the territory, and it has gotten a little better. Like people are definitely more willing to stick up for women when this happens. But like in the early days, like when I first started streaming, I don't think it was as I mean, it was worse. I don't think people were as willing to defend women.
Yeah.
Because you'd be called a simp or like a white knight or like you're just trying to fuck her, like people would, just accuse you of stupid shit all the time.
You mentioned that you need thick skin for any. Let's even go with smaller female content creators. People that maybe want to try out streaming or make it a bigger part of their life. What advice would you give to smaller to mid-level female content creators that may be experiencing this kind of harassment or understanding that it's just a different game being a female here on this site?
I mean, I hate to say it, but like if that sort of harassment gets to you easily, you probably should not be a streamer. It sucks. Like it almost sounds like I'm victim blaming, but
no.
It is just the truth of the world, and I hope it changes rapidly. But as it stands now, it's going to happen, and if you can't handle it, then you should get yourself out of the situation.
It's an uncontrollable evil is how I would define
Yeah.
it. It's terrible, and like I would say more evident than ever because of the voices coming forward about it. Across the industry, not even just Twitch, across the board. You could go on headlines and see where this is being mostly affected and brought up. Most recently, I believe there was an issue with Blizzard and all that. But let me ask this. Okay, we talked about from a female content creator standpoint, but I do want to ask this too. Male content creators or males in general, what is something that they can do to maybe alleviate? We say we can't fix it all. Fine, fair play. But how can we alleviate the situation?
Yes. If you're with your pals, your buddies, and you're playing a game and someone says an offhand sexist comment, tell them like, dude, that's not cool. That's a shitty thing to say. Like, or just tell them it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like if I personally believe that societal shaming is very effective.
Agreed.
If you get shamed by your peers for something, you learn very quickly that it is not allowed. And so I think more societal shaming, just calling out behavior that is not appropriate, is the best thing to do.
Yeah. I love that, especially if that peer is a close friend of yours. And
Exactly.
they're more willing to listen than some rando online that's just tweeting or retweeting stuff. So, keep your homies accountable. I love that. I love that a ton. I also find that silence is like kind of complicit. Like if you're willing to just
It is.
Yeah. It's you're allowing the behavior to go. So you're not allowing for this conversation or for any teaching to occur, and that's how a lack of change is held. I mean, we could see that across the board, not even just with this topic, but anything, racism, all that jazz.
Oh yeah, all the above. Yep.
Yeah. But and I appreciate you sharing all that. Tell me this, Cara, to kind of wrap this segment in a nice bow. what are the long-term plans for you as a content creator? Whether it be still here on Twitch, are we talking any other content in other platforms? Where do you see yourself in the future with all this?
So I always like to broaden my horizons. I like dipping my finger in too many different bowls.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case something goes belly up, I want to have a lot of different things I can do, which I currently do have a lot of different sources of income. But like I like Twitch. It's still my main I call it my my main what do I call it, chat? My main girlfriend. And then like I call YouTube my side hoe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like Twitch is my main hoe, and then like all the other stuff are my side. Oh yeah, my main bay. Yeah, sorry. My Twitch is my main bay, and then YouTube is my side hoe, and like Patreon is my side hoe, and acting is my side hoe. You know, but like,
oh, go on.
but yeah, Twitch is still my main thing. I'd like to do it as long as I can keep it up. If I ever get tired of it, I hope that I can transition to something that is more appropriate, maybe like hosting or consultation or something like that. But yeah.
I like that. Damn. Well, in terms of side hoe YouTube, what are you doing on YouTube? That's some of your content there that you post up.
I have two channels basically. I have my main channel, which is like edited content. I don't really post on there like ever. I'm really sorry for that, everyone who watches YouTube. My other YouTube channel is just I re-upload my Twitch VODs. So like Twitch doesn't keep your VODs very well.
Yep.
So every single one or every single stream, I cut it into like game segments and I put it on my other YouTube, and I make like enough on my side YouTube to pay for rent.
Nice.
Like just straight up. So yeah, like I'm double dipping my content and I'm making money off of both.
I love that. No, smart move right there. That's a beautiful move. I like that. That's dope. So in terms of the future then, it looks like, do you see yourself changing your content? Do you see yourself evolving to something else? Maybe even moving your current location? Is there any scoop there, Cara, that you see yourself, or maybe you're working towards currently in the terms of your future passion projects?
I mean, I will try to milk something that I like for as long as I possibly can. If it's not broke, don't fix it, you know?
Truth.
But like if something comes along that is a good trend and I enjoy it, I will suck at that tit for as long as I can as well, you know?
Okay.
I'm sorry for
No. I'm trying to be the professional one here, all right? We're getting tit suckings, we're getting college roasts. I'm trying to read the room. That's what I'm trying to do, Cara. You throwing too much at me here. No, I love it. I love that though. You're right. If it I think Jerry Seinfeld was the one who said, if a bit is working, you live in the bit. You stay in that.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do what you love, and until you don't love it anymore. One last question. Where are you with this all? You still in love with it? Content creation?
Yeah, I love streaming still. It marries everything I've always wanted in a job, which is one, I can do it for the amount of hours that I want to do it. I don't have a boss, and I love doing what I do. I love playing video games. Yeah.
The dream right there. The dream. I love that. Well, Cara, I appreciate you sharing all that, but we'll go on here to our fourth segment. It's the one where everyone likes to turn up the volume, lean forward to their monitors. They love paying attention. Everyone's so nosy for the tea, which is about romantic relationships. But before we get there, do you need to use the restroom? Any water break? Anything of that sort?
I'm good.
You're good? All right. Well, that's for me then. I will be right back. Give me 1 minute. Again, community is yours. Go ahead. I'll be right back.
Cool. Hey, chats. What's up? How y'all doing? Yeah, sorry for all of my explicit analogies. I will try to keep it more professional. Doing a much better. My mom's is doing much better at keeping it professional. Bullshit you. Hey, Scott. Yo, what's up, my guy? Be more explicit. Don't dumb it down. Okay, we'll be more real. We'll be more genuine. This is why my chat loves me, because I keep it real. I keep it 100. I don't even... Is that a thing? Is that a saying people say? Am I old? I don't even know. Anyway. It is now. Keep it 100. I am 999 years old, yes. Yeah, what's up, Scotch? How you doing? Hey, yo. Hey, boy. Hey. He's hella old. Don't worry about what you say. You're vibing? I'm glad. Any plans for the big 1000? So here's the thing. Turns out your age counter doesn't go past 3 digits. So I'll never hit the 1000. It just goes back to 999, you know? It doesn't increment up. So who knows how old I actually am? But I say 999, yeah. Yeah, did y'all know that? It doesn't actually roll, yeah. No, it doesn't roll over. It just stays at 999. Who knew, right? Who knew? Yeah, you know how like have you ever hit the maximum on a car, like the odometer on the car? Is it odometer? Is that what I'm... No, what's odometer on the car? I forget. It is odometer. Yeah. You know, have you hit the max on the odometer and it just like stays at 999,999?
What did I just walk into? What is going on here? What conversation?
Oh, it does roll back. Oh, they are asking how old I am, and I said I'm 999, and they're like, "Oh, you're turning 1,000?" I'm like, "No, the age counter only has 3 digits, so it just stays at 999."
True. It's also,
Yeah.
you know, I was always told never to ask age. That's my, you know, that's just for me. But apparently, I also had to change my shirts.
Your shirt.
Out of
Oh no!
I've never, you know, in 102 shows, Cara, I've never been so. No, I had to do it. It was a good bit. You can use the restroom, all that jazz. But I'm having a blast, Cara. I love talking to you. Honestly, like you are so pleasant to just sit down here with. And have this chat. Again, I'll tell everyone we do have one more segment, which is the romantic history, before we get into the community questions. If you have any questions for Cara, ! Q into the chat. Ask away. It could be anonymous. You could write your name with it. I'll read as many as we can there, all right? So with this segment, like I said, it's something everyone loves being so nosy about. Everyone wants to know the tea about people's romantic lives. So I do this segment similar to the resume one, all right? In total, how many individuals have had the official seal of approval as KaraCorvus' significant other? I'm not talking, you know, relationships in middle school either. I'm talking maybe high school and up. And also, we're talking not, you know, those that you're swiping left or right or anything that happened for a weekend or whatever, but like, you know, longer term relationships.
I get you. Let me see.
You are calculating right now. This is carry the one.
I just
Brad was there.
I just don't. I just don't dwell on relationships, so I have to like remember.
Yeah.
8?
8.
Yeah, 8.
Okay, 8. Perfect. All right. Let's start from the top here. All right. With 8. Let's start with the first one chronologically. How old were you, and how'd you guys meet?
I was 16.
16. All right. Nice.
Yes. It was a mutual friend of friends that I hung out at high school.
Dope. And so how did that one, I guess, blossom? How did that start?
I was just a stupid teenager, and I'm like, wow, a boyfriend, wow, cool.
Uh-huh.
But like, we didn't even kiss until months later, you know?
Okay, so you're dogging on the person for not even making a move at first. You were, and he didn't even try to make a move. We just, it's 16.
Well,
right?
no, it's like, well, I like you, and I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, I guess I could like you too, yeah, okay, you know?
Jeez, slow. I hope he never sees this. Damn, you fucking crucifying the man.
I feel like he hit me up like years later, and he was kind of an asshole.
Fair.
The second time, so like, I don't care.
Fair play. And so, how long did that relationship last?
Oh, I don't even remember.
Not even a rough estimate.
Maybe like 6 months or something.
6 months. Okay.
Yeah.
And when did it start going downhill?
He got very like controlling with my time. He just like always wanted to be like hang out with me, and when I didn't want to, he would get angry.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So then what's funny is my mom actually helped me break up with him.
What?
Because I had never broken up with someone before, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
So I told my mom, like, I don't want to date this person anymore. So she like helped me and got on the phone with me, and she like explained it all like very calmly to him. And I never had to talk to him ever again.
Wait a second, Cara. Just for clarification.
Yeah.
You're telling me your mom broke up with your boyfriend for you? Like
Yes.
on
Like, no, I was on the call too. Like, I
Oh,
initiated the call.
Okay.
I initiated the call, but then I'm like, Mom, can you come help? You know?
She's feeding you lines?
Yeah. Well, no, she like got on the other phone and she's like, I'm sorry, you two. And then she like went into a whole spiel of like, you two may not just like each other the way you did initially. Like, you know?
Are you kidding me? Sir, if you find this channel, I'll give you a lifelong sub. That's he was an asshole. He was an asshole. He was an asshole.
Being a dick.
I agree. But damn, a double team. I don't know if I could. I would be reeling with that one. That's
At least it wasn't over text.
fair play. But I've never heard in again over 100 shows. I've never heard someone's parent step in and be like, "You're done here. All right, you're not that guy. You're just."
I
not
wanted
that guy.
her help. She it got to the point where I was crying on the phone because I was trying to initiate like breaking up with him, and he would just keep getting mad at me. And so I'd be like, Mom, can you please help? Like, he's being an asshole.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So, that one ended for right reasons too. No matter how interesting the methodology of it happening.
Mm-hmm.
How about your second relationship? Second of 8. How old were you and how'd you guys meet?
I think I was 17 or 18. No, I was 17, senior year of high school.
Nice.
I actually don't know how this one happened because like he kind of was mean to me in middle school. But like again, I was just like, okay, we'll see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And then that one didn't last very long. I think it was like 4 or 5 months because eventually he got like, he was into like his hobby. What was it? It was like flying, like flying like a, not toy, like model helicopters or something, or model planes.
Okay.
But like, I know it was a hobby that like not many people had, and like only older people had.
So you met him at a retirement home. All right. Sounds good.
No, he went to my high school.
Yeah.
But like for some reason he took out his frustration that he didn't have many friends to share this hobby with on me. And then eventually I was like, look, I told him like we're taking a break because like I need to focus on my work, like studying. But then I just never ended the break.
So to this day, you are still taking a break.
He's married and has kids now, but yeah.
Call off the break. That's a verbal agreement. No, I'm joking. That's hilarious. All right. So you just had a break that just broke off, essentially.
Yeah.
That's
and
nice.
Then I graduated, and then he graduated, and then we went to different colleges.
That's nice. Okay. That one's cleaner. That one like
that one was cleaner. I learned how to ease them into a breakup
With the long-term play.
with the break.
Yeah, you're playing chess. Legitimately, you're playing chess. They're playing Mario Kart, whole other thing. So then, number 3, how'd you guys meet, and how old were you?
I think this was freshman year of college. This one wasn't really noteworthy. I think we just dated for a few months. Yeah.
Was it one of those things? I have a theory about relationships in college. I don't think people should. Okay, hot take. All right, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm open to discussion. I'm not a huge fan of people dating their freshman year. I think you should kind of experience your freshman year. You know?
Yeah. After freshman, after that, I didn't date again until I think like junior year.
So with that one, you said it was a shorter relationship. How long, roughly, your freshman year relationship?
The freshman year relationship was like maybe 4 months.
4 months.
Not long at all. Like it was more like, we've kind of grown apart, you know,
And
like it's not working out kind of thing.
super, man, it sounds like both people were okay with this. No harm, no foul. Just walk away from it. Oh, is it?
Well, okay. I'll be real. That was kind of a lie. So what really happened with this one? So we had kind of like an online thing for a little bit. Like we were going to the same college. But we had an online thing for a few months, and then like we got to college, we met in person, and then like we're both at the same college for like 4 months, and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. But then like a couple months after, he killed himself.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
All right. First off, in a video game, and second, like how did, if I may ask, Cara, how did you process that?
It was rough. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if I should say it or not. But,
No, you're good. I mean, we can dance around it. I'll have.
It was rough. When I found out, I obviously like cried. It was tough. But like our breakup wasn't like bad. It was fairly amicable. So like I didn't know, I didn't know about any of it.
Yeah, definitely.
But then the worst thing was his mother blamed me for it for months after. Yeah.
And what did that take on? Because that's kind of like, the alluding to it, and I understand, especially with the timeline being so tight. Like, how did you take that? How did you approach such a heavy claim from someone so close to the person?
I mean, I knew it was bullshit.
Yeah.
And I knew she was just grieving, and she felt like she needed something to blame it on.
Yeah.
I didn't really I didn't blame her. Like I could empathize. Like she's a grieving mother that just lost her son in the worst way possible. And she felt like that I was the cause of this, even though like I didn't see anything about this when I was in the relationship at all. Like he did not seem like that at all. And I really don't think that I really don't think I was the cause. Like I really doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was, because we had a very amicable like breakup after that. And we still like talked as friends. But yeah, he just really, I think she just really needed something to put it on.
Yeah.
And I happened to be that scapegoat. But like literally no one agreed with her. Everyone told her she was wrong. Like I knew it was bullshit. I didn't really care that much. I just wanted her to stop messaging me.
Yeah, definitely. And again, looking at the context of it all, and especially with the majority, it's just someone who's out of anger and spite, and not even spite at you, just the scenario, needing something to sadly punch at, to make sense of the scenario, the situation. That's tragic.
Yeah.
Wow. So going from the third person there, all right, how or when and how did you meet your fourth?
Fourth was just someone who was on the same floor.
Yeah.
He was Filipino, actually.
Okay.
I
had one joke in my mind. I was like, I was gonna ask you what year were you in, because I was gonna say I hope you were. Was my brother there? No, anyways,
I met his family.
Nice. Oh, fair
You
play.
were not part of that family.
Well, we don't know. Anyway, so the extent, a lot of Filipinos are related here in Seattle, Washington. Anywho, but you dated this Filipino your senior year, correct? You were saying, or junior year?
Junior year.
And tell me how that relationship go. How did it begin? Who made the move? What caught your eye?
I don't remember who made the first move. I think it was more like, "Hey, you're cute. Hey, you're cute. Let's go out," you know?
Nice.
And like we both played video games, so like we just played video games together, and like just it was a very casual like thing. We weren't like thinking of like long term. It was just like, "Oh, we have fun with each other in college. This is fun," you know?
That's nice. How long did this one last?
Maybe like 8 months, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, as always, when did you start to see kind of a rockier road in this relationship?
It was more like we just grew apart. You know, he moved to a different floor. You know, it's basically, you know,
which is basically a whole other country.
Basically nail in the coffin. You know, yeah.
You're out of my damn life. Are you kidding me? Okay. No. I'm not letting you off this one because this person's Filipino. I got to fight more of my people on this one. All right. You're telling me. So aside from the moving of locations, was there anything else that was like, this didn't work?
He was a little immature. Just personally.
Yeah.
I felt like this sounds bad, but like I feel like he wasn't doing enough with his life.
This
he
is a
didn't have
theme.
any, I know. I'm sorry, but I feel like he didn't have any like aspirations for the future. You know, like I was just like I was like, it's just a fun, casual thing, and I'm not having as much fun anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's not wrong to want someone with ambition. I think that's great. But you saw that and tied it in with also your enjoyment of being around the person, and so you're like, all right, well, you know, I'm out. Was that a hard breakup?
No, it was not. I have a really funny story about him though,
Please.
which I don't know if I should share because it's just about him.
Up to you if you'd like to or not. What are the odds that he watches this is also what I tend to
fair.
roll.
Okay, all right. So we were both virgins. We broke up and we were still like not sexually active. That's fine.
Okay.
So like he stayed a virgin for a while, but then apparently the first time his friend told me this, by the way, not him. His friend told me this story. The first time he lost his virginity, he got the girl pregnant. And so so now he's a dad off the very first time he ever had sex.
Oh, what? What in the world is this coming? Where did this come from?
Yes, it was because he was always so like he always lamented the fact that he was not sexually active.
Yeah,
that was the whole point. Like he always complained about that. So then the first time it ever happened, he wasn't even smart enough to use protection.
Okay, I thought it was one of those kind of broke kind of deals, but either way, he didn't even. Do you ever think about that scenario and be like, "Oh, it could have been me"? It could have been. Do you ever think?
No, because I would not get myself into that situation.
All right, fair play. Jeez, I can't. This one that threw me off a loop. You gave me a curveball of a story. I was not expecting that. I thought you were gonna tell me like how he wasn't ambitious and like he didn't clean his room or some shit. You telling me the man now he's a dad. Now he's got a whole fucking family. His kid's gonna watch this.
And the girl already had like 3 different kids from 3 different dads and stuff. Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
that's
mess.
There's a lot going on there. That's
There's a lot to unpack. Yeah.
well, I have him in the waiting room. We're gonna drag him here in the call, right?
Dude, no, I wanted to confront him and be like, why were you such an idiot? You fucking dumbass.
I like to like it. I think the peace of mind that I would give myself in terms of that story is just like, it's kind of like beginner's unluck. Like he just got too excited, no pun intended, and like you didn't think about wrapping it up. And when you're offered the proposition of hooking up to that full extent, it's definitely irresponsible. Let's just be honest. It's definitely irresponsible. But the man, the man ran it like old dirty bastard. He wanted to hit her raw, so it is what it is there. That's just too much there. Unreal. So going on, I gotta be a professional and keep moving this along. Going on from the the pregnancy part of that man's story back to you. Number five. This is the worst Watch Mojo top 10 tier list I'm giving you. Number 5, how'd you meet this person and how old were you at the time together?
I was a senior in college.
Okay.
This is the boyfriend I moved to LA with. He was a piece of shit. He was a grad student at UW, and I was an undergrad, and I did like a study with him.
Okay.
That's how we met. This is the worst one because he was extremely abusive, like to the point of like just completely destroyed me.
Wow. Okay.
Mentally and emotionally. Yeah.
Sorry.
You can continue. It's fine.
In terms of that relationship, you said mentally and emotionally, was it something that in the moment you didn't recognize as abuse and later on were, or did you always know this is an issue, but I'm hanging around?
No, I did not recognize it because it comes on. So this is a PSA for everyone. It comes on very slowly. Like when you first meet them, they're completely respectful. They are wonderful to you. They just treat you like you're the best person, like you're the queen to them, They love bomb you. You've probably heard that before. They love bomb you.
Mm-hmm.
So dated him for my whole senior year. After I graduated, actually, I took an extra half year because I switched majors. So once that was done, we moved to LA because he got a job here. And guess which place he started working at? It was Riot Games.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't see the signs. Once we moved, that's when it all like went downhill. He started, this motherfucker. Yeah.
Mm.
So this is when he started cheating on me without him thinking I knew, but I knew. I found out like very easily. He started cheating on me. He started gaslighting me. He started controlling me. Like even before we moved, he didn't like me having like male friends. He made me delete my Facebook. I couldn't have male like contacts on my phone. He was very insecure.
Yeah.
Very controlling. He would constantly say how much his family would not like me. So I'd have to try better. He would say how much he didn't like my family because they just weren't good people or something. Like, so he didn't really want me talking to my family. He was very manipulative, very controlling. I actually came out with a Me Too thing about him on my on my Twitter and like YouTube and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because he did this to like every single girl that he dated. I can tell you who it is, and I want to.
Up to you.
You want to know?
Yeah, up to you.
If you guys know who Riot Light is, it's that motherfucker.
There it is. Riot Light.
Who worked at Riot Light worked at Riot.
I see. So with that moment or that experience in your life, all right?
Mm-hmm.
When did you realize enough was enough?
Well, when he kicked me out of our mutual apartment so that his mistress could move in.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you process that moment?
I was destroyed.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I was absolutely destroyed. I wanted to warn her. I wanted to tell her what an asshole he was.
Mhm.
He was cheating on me with her for months. And the whole time he was just saying no, I'm just trying to help this girl. She's in a bad situation. It's like, no, you're just trying to fuck her, you
Mhm.
fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I like everything I'm saying, it's 100 times worse than what you think. Like
Yeah.
he basically like raped me multiple times.
My
It
God.
was yes, the scum of the earth. He's a piece of shit. I cannot establish this more. He
Wow.
is the worst person I've ever met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
this part, like, I'm still trying to, I, this part I don't have understanding of because again,
Mhm.
I haven't been in this scenario or have anyone in any understanding personally. So I need a little bit of clarification if you may. But you mentioned that you noticed that he was cheating on you, okay,
Mhm.
and then you found out very easily.
Mhm.
What keeps one around when they find out that their significant other has been unloyal to them? Like, what kept you around for that
Um,
scenario?
yeah, because so at the time I was working part-time at a laboratory,
Yeah.
so I was not making enough money to live on my own. So for a lot of it, I had to pretend that I didn't know anything. And if I brought it up to him, I did bring it up several times, and he would always have some excuse,
Mhm.
uh, like, no, I was just trying to make her feel better about herself. Like, kind of fucking stupid shit is that?
Yeah, that's
Like,
weird.
there was a lot of stupid excuses and bullshit. Like, I remember for some reason, he didn't think I was as smart as I was.
Hmm.
Like, I would find out everything, like, immediately. Like, I would find out all of it. This is gonna sound a little more neurotic, but I would find out all of his passwords very easily.
Mm.
So I could see, like, texts he was sending and, like, pictures he would send girls, like,
Mm.
nudes he would receive, like, shit like that all the time. He
Mm.
would always lie about where he was. He'd always lie about everything.
Mm.
And I would find out, like, immediately because I would ask around, and I'm like, because like he said he would go to like work out once a week with his friend.
Mhm.
So one time I messaged his friend, I'm like, hey, I hope you guys have a good workout. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, well, he told me you guys work out once a week. And he's like, oh, no, I don't do that. He must be talking about someone else.
Yeah.
You know,
Damn.
like,
Jesus.
yeah,
How long did this relationship last for?
2 years.
2 years.
Mhm.
And when it came to the end, when that man was kicking you out of
Mhm.
your home together, and you realize that you've had enough, looking back now upon your relationship, what did you learn?
Um, I learned that I needed to value myself better.
Yeah.
But like, I really like it comes on so slowly that eventually your norm becomes that. That is now your norm. Like they like abusers always introduce like small things
Mm.
gradually to where you don't notice. You're like a frog in a boiling pot, you know? You don't notice that it's boiling until you're boiled alive,
Wow.
you know?
Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
Damn. Any advice that you would give to individuals that may be in a toxic relationship as you were at that time in your life?
Um Listen to your friends. Like, I had friends that would talk to me and say like, "Cara, you don't seem happy. Like, this person is not good for you." And then I'd always say like, "Oh no, it's my fault that he's like this. I've been acting badly. I'm wrong, you know." I always thought it was my fault. So if you're constantly feeling like it's your fault, or if you constantly feel like you have to walk on eggshells around someone, like, or if people are constantly telling you that you're not in a good situation, like maybe you should think about it. But it is always extremely hard, like
Yeah.
looking from the outside, from the inside. You're too close to the situation. You can't. It's so difficult
Yeah.
to figure it out. Like I've had people tell me like, why didn't you just leave them?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't know. You don't realize you're brainwashed so elaborately, like so deeply that you just don't realize that this is wrong.
Hindsight's 2022. Like,
Yes.
it's much easier now with all the evidence and stories that we could
Mm-hmm.
hear than living in the moment, and
Yeah.
like you said, you justify the poor behavior and you're trying to defend them to your friends. I agree, because these people are looking from the outwards in. They're not in the thick of it with that you are with that individual,
Mm-hmm.
so they can judge it pretty. I guess
Objectively,
objectively, that's the word I was looking. I was going to say
Mm-hmm.
non-biased, but yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I love, but there's a little bit of bias because they're your friends, and so they're going to want
Yeah.
what's best for you. But at the same
Exactly.
time, they aren't there every time. They don't see the details, but they can give you just a straight up take of like your expression, your emotion when you're around them, or when you talk about them, and all that. That's just good friends. That's good company.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sorry, one more thing to add.
No.
I heard someone told me this and it really resonated, but it's like,
please.
you can look at one puzzle piece
Mhm.
and not know what the hell you're looking at. You can look at another one of the same puzzle and it looks completely different. Like
Mhm.
you can't see the full picture until you have all the puzzle pieces put together.
I love that. That's
Mhm.
spot on. That is brilliant. I love that a ton. So moving on from that very difficult relationship that sounds like it really impacted your life in various ways, both good and bad. Good in terms of what you've learned, bad in terms of memories and experiences.
Yeah.
Who was the sixth? Who was the next person
Um,
up, and how'd you meet?
Yeah. Well, I was so destroyed after this that like I went on like a bender.
Okay.
Like I just went on a Tinder and dating sites and I just dated so many people
Yeah.
just to like see what else is out there, I'm just like, wow, look at all these actual like good people.
Mhm.
This is so cool.
What did you learn about yourself during this bender? During this just dating around?
I learned that people actually want to be around me and not control my life,
Yeah. Yeah. That's huge. Because
Yeah.
it's a cleansing. You needed a palate change. For years of 2 years in that prior relationship, now you're just having this variety of dates and meeting people, and you're seeing, oh wow, I didn't need to be treated that way. I could be treated
Exactly.
this. I love that.
Yes, so many people treated me with respect and kindness, and like it just made me realize how awful that relationship was and how much it affected me. It was a breath of fresh air.
And that's important. I think that validates the decision. No, honestly, like I really do. But so of that potpourri of dates, who was the sixth? Who stood out?
Yes, I then started dating someone else. He was an architect.
Nice.
He was British. His family was from Shanghai, but he was from Britain. But his mom was from Spain.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So that is a melting pot of cultures.
Yes,
That is
yes.
Carmen Sandiego right there in male format. All right. And how was that relationship? How long did that one last?
I think that lasted a year, almost
Nice.
a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that one, what was the season of change for you? What was it that made you decide, all right, this one wasn't for me. It's just, time to dip.
He was too emotional.
Interesting. That's fascinating. What? What do you mean too emotional?
So as you can probably tell, I'm very, very independent. I
Yeah.
very much value my independence.
Mhm.
So I like when I can take a couple days away from people, like my significant other, like everything.
Mm.
And he did not really care for that as much. But then like I also was not very good at expressing myself because I was still like a little emotionally stunted from my abusive relationship.
Fair. Yeah.
Um so like he wanted more emotional connection and I couldn't give it to him.
I see.
Yeah.
And so with those two clashing factors, it couldn't work.
Yeah.
You need more time to process and maybe
Mhm.
heal to get to that moment. And he didn't, sounds like didn't have the time. And he had his other prerogatives where he's like, I want to make it. All right. Fair. Okay. Number 7.
For number 7 and 8, I'm going to refrain from talking
You
about
got it.
them.
You got it. All right. Hey, that one's on the house. I got you there. If that's the case, then let me take you to the present. All right. What do you seek when you look for a long-term relationship?
So long-term relationship, I want someone who has ambition, who is hardworking, obviously smart, can have fun, must like playing video games. Um, like just chill.
Yeah.
I don't
Like a
know how
lower
to
maintenance.
yeah, low maintenance.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to have to be around them all the time. I don't want to have to message them all the time. Like if we like send one message a day or like talk once a day, that's fine. I don't want to constantly be near this person.
I love you, but I just want you to know that. I don't want you to. I don't want you to.
I need my space.
Yeah.
Like I'm totally fine living together, but I do still need my space. I don't want to always do something with that person. I don't want to always be with that person. I feel like stifled.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, like, and I
feel
need
that.
someone who understands that and maybe like feels the same way. Like maybe someone who is also independent, doesn't like always have to be around their significant other. You know, also they can't get jealous, like because streaming. If I were to
Yeah.
date someone while streaming, they cannot have a jealous bone in their body, or else it's not going to work out.
Good luck. Yeah. Good luck with that. What's the key to your heart, Cara? What's the key to your heart?
Sushi.
All right, take notes.
Maybe.
That's for you guys. You're welcome. They say that I don't pander to the audience enough. You're welcome there. All right, sushi. Interesting. Good sushi. There's a lot of good sushi back in Seattle. You're missing out. All right, you're missing out on a lot. But let me ask this though. All right, similar to the capturing moments and memories over in the family segment, I'm gonna ask one of here in the romantic relationships part. We're going to speak to your future significant other, whoever they may be,
Okay.
What is something that they should know about you and that you would like to tell them for the future? Whenever that happens, and if you're, in that place where you're like, yo, I'm in a long-term relationship. I like this person enough that who knows where this can go. Here's something I'd like you to know about me.
Well, something I've had trouble with relationships in the past, at least. I've had trouble with my SOs not understanding the extent of my ADHD. Like I've had some like accuse me of like not caring for them because I would forget to do certain things. It's like I would forget to like do the dishes or something, and then they would tell me like, well, I really care about having like a clean kitchen, so I really would like you to do the dishes because like it means a lot to me. And I'd be like, I will try my best, but like I will forget, and I'm so sorry. It doesn't mean I don't care about you, but like because of ADHD, I just sometimes can't do it. Like it just won't get done. And then they'll just accuse me of not caring enough about them and using ADHD as an excuse, So I want them to understand that I have limitations because of like ADD, and like it doesn't mean it's no slight to them. I've had to deal with it my whole life, and like it doesn't mean I don't care, like it's so hard it's so hard to deal with sometimes.
I like that.
I just want people to know that's not personal.
You are cashing in that insurance right here, right now with that. Hey, I love you. Again, I love you, but it's not personal. It's tough to focus. It's tough to remember it all.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
are you saying that they should just leave it? Will it get done eventually, Cara, though?
It will.
Okay, there it is.
It might take a couple days, and maybe if they want it done sooner, they should probably do it themselves. But like,
there it goes.
I try.
Holy cow! This is very specific dish knowledge. I feel like I mean,
it could be anything.
yeah,
you know.
No, I feel that. It's understanding your limitations as a person, and accepting and embracing your shortcomings of that, and that being one of them. All right. I fuck with that. I like that answer. I appreciate that. But Cara, that's the life stories part of the show. And I appreciate you so much being candid and honest and sharing just even a piece of your life with all of us here live tonight. That was really awesome. I enjoyed it dearly. That being said, I'm going to go over to the informally last part of the show, which is the community questions. All right? Over the course of this whole show, people have been entering questions, comments, all that may be. I'm going to read as many as I can possible. There's only one rule here, and it's this. You don't have to answer the question if you don't want to. You can tell me to skip. We'll move on. I haven't vetted these prior, so I'm going to try my best to vet as we go.
All good.
But yeah, let's start us off here. This first one, just straight up saying, how do you deal with creepy people in chat?
I just ban them and move on. Or I make fun of them. Actually, making fun of them is really fun.
Yeah. I mean, back to the public shaming part,
Public shaming.
It's a nice lesson learned. That just really, solidifies your point home of just don't fuck with me. Hi, Cara. I was wondering how being Middle Eastern affected you growing up in general. Being Middle Eastern myself, I was subject to some subtle racism growing up and was wondering if you experienced anything like that.
I'm only half, so I can pass a little bit better as white. But growing up, I was a lot more tan, so I would get weird comments from people being like, "Oh, you're so exotic," like. As a middle schooler, people would tell me this, like, "Oh, you're so exotic. What are you?" And like, I would tell them because like I don't mind, but like exotic is just so creepy. And then like when 9/11 happened, that was rough.
Oh boy, yeah.
There were a lot of terrorist jokes, like a lot. It was especially my dad is the Middle Eastern one, so like I didn't see it personally. But like whenever we would take a flight, he would always get randomly selected.
Randomly selected. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always him. So that was very frustrating. And then also where I grew up was very white bread, very white. So what's funny is like they would always ask me like, "Oh, are you Mexican?" Which is like totally fine. I don't mind. Like being Mexican would be cool. But like I'm just not, know? But like everybody would just ask automatically if I'm Mexican. Just every time.
It's the assumption.
It's the assumption. Yeah. Or they would just speak Spanish to me. Like that happens so many times. People just come up to me and speak Spanish to me.
What? Ridiculous.
Yeah. And I'm like, I speak English. I speak French. I don't even
Nice.
I just learned it in school. Yeah. Answer in French.
I like that.
But yeah, I'm sure like I don't know if you ever get like people just like come up and like say like, "Oh, ni hao." Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
If that's ever happened to you.
A lot. a lot, and it's just
Yeah.
like, and then they hear my voice, and then I get called white. Like you're like the whitest Asian I know. I was like, oh, I guess,
Yeah,
like,
right?
appreciate it.
It's
Well, I
like,
don't know what that means.
I'm just American. Like,
Yeah. this is yeah. You've made this interaction with you very difficult now. Like already we're starting off on a I wouldn't say bad foot because there's a bit of grace and understanding, but it is gonna be like, all right, let's see what other things we can navigate here conversationally. Here's the next question. Here it says, what's your favorite game? What's your favorite game to stream? Not necessarily which ones gets the most views, but which one
Ooh.
you enjoy the most.
oh man, that changes all the time. I mean, I still love playing Among Us.
Okay.
I do.
If you have good company. If you got good company.
Yeah. I mean,
can
I
feel
have
that.
a group. I have a good group I play with all the time.
Mhm.
But and we play modded, so it's a little
Ooh.
more engaging.
Yeah.
Like
Nice.
it's more like a Town of Salem kind of vibe, but it's very fun. Yeah, Breath of the Wild. Like honestly, God, I like so many games.
Yeah.
I
Do
just
you have
like
a
video
specific
games.
genre that you play? Do you like side with the party ones? Do you have any single player ones, first person shooters? What do you feel
Okay,
about?
puzzle games. I
Interesting.
love like exercising my brain. I love puzzle games like more than anything. Like I went on a puzzle game stint a couple weeks back where I would just play so many puzzle games. I'm still looking for more good ones. Please tell me your recommendations.
Yeah. That's fun. I like that. I thought you were literally going to be like, no, we play puzzles. Like I know a streamer that literally has like a community puzzle thing where apparently it's on web browser and everyone can just kind of do that jazz. But puzzle games, I feel that. I like that. Have you found it challenging playing group social games in a majority male field?
No, because my group is very vetted. If I thought any of them were being shitty or like misogynistic, even casually misogynistic, I'm very lucky that my group would blacklist them immediately.
Yeah.
They're very respectful, extremely respectful. I do sometimes get like some subconscious stuff. Like, but and then like I always question myself, like, am I being too sensitive? Am I thinking they're being like subconsciously sexist or like are they actually like, like it's always a question.
Yeah. That's fair.
But like regardless, I know they don't mean to. They have good intentions.
I mean, I would just say trust your intuition. If you have a feel, if you have a vibe, and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna watch carefully, and then if they do prove you wrong or right, act accordingly from there. Okay, this one just says in all caps, Cara, can you still fit in the hamper?
Yes. Well,
I don't know if you want to try part 2. I'm gonna alleviate you from that.
I'm totally down to try.
Go ahead if you feel up to the challenge. Cara, go ahead, try your part 2.
We'll
We're getting
see
this.
if my booty got big.
Good luck. Let's see. How long for your community? If you guys can type this in, how long ago was that clip? Do you guys remember how long ago she tried the first time the hamper squat? I guess would be the. I don't know how you would name this stunt.
I don't know if y'all can even see it well.
A little bit.
Back.
Back. There you go. There's enough of a All right.
Nice.
I feel like this is like Tosh 2.0 with the redemption. Oh.
All right.
That was another crack, and you know it. You know it. But you fit. There you go. Oh, and we're stuck. And this is the exact same. I'm having deja. Yikes. Are you all right? You good? All right.
Yes.
She's good.
I got out though.
The unsung hero, ladies and gentlemen. The unsung hero, KaraCorvus. Doing it for. And you know what? Just ladies and gentlemen, you find that whatever you may, she don't give a fuck. All right? She already said that at the top of the hour. Nice. There you go. Challenge accepted. Holy cow.
Super down. I still fit.
She's still
It's
fit.
all good. It's a win. I still fit.
There you go. Huge dub right there. This one just reads, I'm not very sure what this means, but I did see some photos of it. I saw a mug with it on it. It says, when did dick butt become a thing? When did that become a thing? Out of
I
curiosity.
don't know. Let's see. Dick butt meme Know your meme. Here we go. It was April 12th, 2007.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Wait, April 12th, 2007?
April 12th, 2007.
Damn. Okay. Jeez. And what resonated with you about that meme? You're just like, I need this on a mug. I need this a part of my life, my brand here.
He's just so funny. He's so cute and funny. But it's like also it's like no one expects the dick butt, you know? It's a surprise. That's the whole shtick. It's like you're expecting something and it's just dick butt, you know? He's so unassuming.
I don't know what I would be expecting if that was the case. Like, what am I walking into? I saw that drawn. This is the weirdest memory. In 2014, I remember to this day. In 2014, I saw a dick buck drawn on the wall of a Best Buy, like outside. I don't know why. I have an Instagram photo with it. And someone was like, I miss the moms that used to make dick butt comments. And I was like, I don't even know what this was, but all right, it is what it is. But I like that. It's an old meme, but it stays true. Stays true.
July 2nd, 2006. But it was entered into Urban Dictionary on April 12th, 2007.
Okay, 27.
Oh, excuse me.
Cara, what's your skincare routine? You look like you do an amazing job at it.
So this is going to be unfair.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really do much. I've always had good skin. I don't really ever get acne at all. It just so happens I have good skin genetics, and I can't really give any advice because like it would be false. Like I can't. I can tell you what I do. I scrub the fuck out of my face with an exfoliant, which is probably not good, but I have really tough skin, literally and figuratively. I just exfoliate a lot. I wear sunscreen every day and I moisturize every night. So just make sure your skin's not dry and make sure you're not getting sun on your skin and you'll be good.
Nice. There it is.
Yeah.
This one says kind of random, but if you're willing, what was the place you worked at in the Snoop clip? And did you end up having one of those, quote, dream stories of moving to a high velocity place like LA? And if so, how did you get yourself out there for opportunities like that?
So in the Snoop clip, we were at his personal warehouse. What was it called? It's called he has a name for it, but it's his own personal like recording studio, like hangout spot. Like that's where he just does all of his stuff. That's just Snoop Dogg's place. Mm-hmm. The Compound. Yeah, it's called. Thank you, Eric. It's called the Compound. He calls it the Compound. And when I first moved to LA, I did not realize I'd be, living the high life. No. When I didn't. What was the second part of the question? Can you repeat it?
Yeah. Do you have any experiences with that kind of fast-paced life change of where you were prior to when you moved to LA?
No. So when my whole life I've lived in small towns, like the town I grew up in, it was like 5,000 people. In Washington, I lived in a small town in Eastern Washington, which was like 30,000. So I had never really seen a skyscraper up close before until I moved to Seattle. And then I went to Seattle. I'm like, oh my God, these buildings are so big.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's so many people everywhere, like, wow, look at all this cool shit. And then LA is just even more of that. Like it's just huge and places, and there's so many places and people everywhere. So like you do get you get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And then as for the lifestyle, like I've met way more famous people than I ever thought I would meet.
Name off a few. I'm out of curiosity. Who are some people that you just?
Well, my dog barked at Jack Black, so I got to meet Jack Black. I met not everyone, but a lot of people from Supernatural. Mm-hmm. Actually, I didn't talk about this, but I actually dated someone that was in Supernatural for like a little bit. I was in Taylor Swift's music video.
Which one?
Bad Blood.
Yo, okay.
Yeah, so I met Taylor Swift. I met Kendrick Lamar and Zendaya and Cara Delevingne and what's the name of it? Haley?
Haley Bieber?
No, Haley from Paramore. What's her name?
Oh,
Haley Smith. Is it just Haley Smith? No,
Williams.
Haley Williams. Haley Williams.
Mhm.
That's it.
Nice. Does, being surrounded by in an environment with a lot of celebrities, does the prestige run out, wear off, where you stop looking at them as these kind of like, whoa,
Definitely.
yeah, it just nice.
Yeah, I met Snoop Dogg. I forgot about that.
We covered that one. All right, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, like when I met Snoop Dogg, I was like, "Hey man, what's up?" Oh, this is a cool place. Nice.
But I think that's a welcomed energy though, because I bet they're very often used to the fanfare. So to have someone just person to person dream, I guess regularly or like a homie, it's just it's business as usual. It's actually probably more of a change of a pace than reacting as a fan or as someone who admires them highly. I like that.
Oh yeah,
what's
that's
up?
right. Sorry, more celebrities. I met Tessa Thompson. I got a lap dance from Lil Dicky.
Wait, what? I didn't see that on the show. Wait, what? What was that? I didn't see that in date.
YouTube. That's on my YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. How would you rate the lap dance from Lil Dicky?
It was fun.
Okay. How much would you have paid?
Lap dances,
How much
but it was fun.
How many ones would you have given Lil Dicky for that lap dance, Cara?
I would shower him in ones. He deserves it.
All right.
He's a good guy.
It was good shit. Fair play. Damn, you really got the whole resume there with how many people you met. Someone here is just doing you a service here by entering this question. It says, "Did you know Cara has a Patreon? What are some of the offerings that you have on your Patreon?"
Who was it?
It's anonymous, but I wish I had community members like that. All right, that's a G right there. That's a real homie.
Neville? Was that Neville? Neville, was that you? It was probably Neville.
All right.
Anyway,
but what are some of the offerings? Give us a quick plug.
So I do cosplay a lot. I would do a new cosplay every month. So every month I just have new cosplay shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is there any scoop on what next month's possibly will be, or this coming month?
I actually just took a hiatus until September. September will be Kitana from Mortal Kombat.
Ooh, okay. Nice. I like that. This one's asked every interview, just out of vanity, whether it be from them or from my community. But here it is. And I got a bailout question if you need it. Who's your favorite mod?
Well, my god mod is Eric. He's the one who runs all my ads.
Mm-hmm.
But Tess is the queen of Dino Nuggies, so might have to give it to Tess.
Okay. Ooh, you put down the categories though, so I'll give you that. How do you feel when your streaming friends will correct others on pronunciation of your name? It's Cara vroom vroom. Let's share what I just read.
Yeah, so my whole life I've been called Cara when it's pronounced Cara. So I always have to correct people that my name is actually Cara. And I always feel like an asshole when I correct people on my name. But also it's it's my name, and I want people to pronounce it correctly. But so it's always oh God, do I correct them? Do I sound like an asshole, or do I just live with my name being said wrong?
It's not an asshole thing at all. I think that's if that's how you are represented, if that's your name, by all means, correct them. They got to throw a little bit of respect on your name in that.
Yeah. So the way I would tell people to remember it is it's Cara, like a car, vroom vroom.
Oh my gosh.
And I'd be like, it's silly, but you'll remember,
Yeah, I guess. I'll take it. Vroom vroom. You are telling adults vroom. You could have just said car, like a vehicle. No. I need to tell them vroom vroom. They learn that way.
Yes. And it's gotten to the point where now my license plate is car space UH. Cara.
Nice. That's a little, I did not know that. They went to that far of an extent. You put that on your license plate. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. This one reads, any other good food places in Seattle, like for banh mi places? Do you have any places you got banh mi's at?
Banh mi.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the pho places also serve banh mi's.
Mhm.
Go to any like authentic Vietnamese restaurant, like family run, and they'll have excellent banh mi's.
I'm a sucker for like kind of the dingier Asian grocery stores that sell it. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. Like there's this place called Full Lee in Beacon Hill, and they would sell that stuff for like $1, 25 cents each. And they're fat. They're huge, but yeah, my weakness is that. What's up?
There is one place I remember in Seattle. It was like something Saigon. Hold on, Seattle. Do you know it?
Yes,
like
it's in
the
international.
basement. No. It's on the Ave, but it's like in the basement.
Oh, it's still there. Yeah. It's not simply Saigon. You look up Saigon.
God, there's so many
Saigon,
places called Saigon in Seattle.
Seattle. You look up that right now.
I think
Saigon
it's
Deli?
Saigon Deli, maybe? It says local institution for Vietnamese banh mi, but like they did have the best banh mi, if it's this place. Let me look at pictures.
What makes it so good, though? While you're looking at photos here, making my appetite. I'm hungry now.
So good. Like they were cheap and they used like it was really fresh feeling. Was it Mr. Saigon? It might have been Mr. Saigon.
Mr. Saigon.
Wait, okay. Master of Envies. Was it like? Did you have to take like a few stairs down into like the bottom area of like an apartment building?
Was it
Or
near
like
a tattoo
another
parlor?
building? I don't remember, but Mr. Saigon sounds familiar.
She said, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
Mr.
gosh.
Saigon. If it's still there, Mr. Saigon. That's the best place for banh mi.
Damn.
100%.
I love that. Damn. I need more. I
Yeah,
need
not
more.
Saigon Deli.
More not that we just forget about Saigon Deli, all right? Don't even think about them.
Saigon Deli.
Is there anything you wish more people knew about you? And this is from Jay Cortez 06.
For selfish reasons, I just wish I could flex more on people by telling them I'm a scientist without sounding like an asshole.
Not play that by me. Play that with it. How does one sound like an asshole calling themselves a scientist?
Because like if you just bring it up out of nowhere, you sound like an asshole.
I mean, you don't
know?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. You're right. That like I'm thinking about it, how does one bring that up in a non pretentious way?
It's hard to bring up. Yeah, it's hard to not be pretentious, but I like people knowing that I'm a scientist because they're always like, "Wow, really?" And then they'll be like, "Oh, you don't look like it," like some stupid
That's
shit like
weird.
that, you know?
Yeah, that's a strange comment, but okay. I'm waiting for you to make us call you Dr. KaraCorvus. Like when was that time gonna come? Like
I quit my PhD program, so never.
Nah, yeah. It's one of those things. If you want to take it to the optimal level of total like no, it's Dr. KaraCorvus. Thank you for asking. I didn't get a PhD for nothing. Every professor.
Yeah.
When were you the most proudest and disappointed in yourself, in or outside of streaming?
Oh God. Proudest. I don't know. Like maybe typically some would say like when they graduated from college and got their degree, but like I didn't even go to my graduation. It didn't really matter as much to me. Maybe okay, this is gonna sound really corny and kind of like not interesting at all.
No.
But maybe when I like incorporated, because then it meant like I'm a business, I am my own thing, I'm self-sufficient, I've made it this far that I have to like be a business now. Like it's like my badge of success, you know, like being an incorporation or a corporation.
Definitely. And in terms of disappointed.
Disappointed. I don't remember. You know what I said before?
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember all that shit.
At a
I don't
second.
remember.
Okay. No, fair play. If you don't mind me asking, how did you find out I'm reading verbatim. How did you find out your abusive boyfriend was cheating on you?
I think the time that I figured it out was when he started being very protective of his phone and his computer screen.
Mhm.
This felt very off to me.
Yeah.
And then I would get little glimpses of like him talking to someone else very intently on his phone. And so he just had his phone on him all the time, except for when he was taking a shower. And I had seen him, yeah, it's always the phone. I had seen him type in like his password so many times that I knew his password. So I'd go, this sounds so neurotic, but
No.
I would go through his phone while he was in the shower and I'd see like all the nudes he would send to girls and like the images he would get and the messages he would send, like stuff like that.
Mhm. Okay. How did you start getting opportunities to connect with people in LA? Was it from streaming or something else?
It was mostly streaming, but like even before I did streaming, I was doing acting and modeling as well.
Mhm.
So like I'm on my lunch break at my laboratory, I would go to auditions.
Oh.
And then when I would book something, I would take a sick day and then do the commercial or film or whatever or TV show. Yeah.
You got such a cool arc. Like that is like scientist by day, content creating actress by night. Like you're getting such a full, I guess, experience of your professional life and your young adult life. That's so cool. I like that. Let me read you 4 more. All right.
Okay.
And then we'll mosey on over to the last part of the show.
Sure.
I love how you talk so openly about being bi. I am on the fence about my sexuality. How did you find out who you were?
I have a very poignant story about that. Well, like first of all, growing up, my parents were always like very supportive of whatever.
Yeah.
Like I never felt like I had to suppress anything. But my my chat knows this story, but I can share.
Okay.
This one is really funny. So I had a friend of a friend that would come over and play like retro games with us all the time.
Yeah.
And she was married to like a man. She had a husband. But she would talk about her like the video games she would play as a kid and how she'd have crushes on the female protagonists and stuff.
Huh. Okay.
And I had just been talking to my friend about this, and I would say like, "Oh my god, I like all these female like video game characters I was so in love with as a kid.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I had so many crushes on them." And my friend would like tease me about that, and I'd be like, "What? All girls get like crushes on like the strong female characters and stuff." And he's like, "No, they don't, Cara. No, they don't." And I was trying to convince him, like, yeah, it's normal. Like, they totally do. And so when I heard his friends say that, I was like, see, look, she had crushes on her, like, on the video game characters, and she's straight, she's married. And then the friend's like, oh, honey, no, I'm not. No, I'm not straight. And then I was like, huh. Okay.
Yeah. It started the gears started churning there. You got a little bit of bigger picture.
I was like, wait a second.
Uh-huh. Whoa.
And then and then I'm like, oh, maybe that's why I love boobs so much. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. Nice. I mean, fair. I love that. I love the the ebbs and flows of that journey right there. Jeez. Here's a quick one here. Will your viewers ever be able to meet your parents?
They've already met my dad, actually. He came to visit like a year ago, maybe.
Okay.
And so they call him Dadvis, like like Corvus, but Dadvis.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad's so funny. My chat loved him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because he would say shit like You're my only daughter, but you're also my worst daughter. Because like I wouldn't call him very often.
Oh, that's grandstanding. That's a smart move
He's
by Papa
joking,
Corvus.
but yeah.
I like that. Good strats.
And, yeah, and then he would just bag on me.
Were you guys just chilling on stream, or did you do any like Q&As? What
Yeah.
was going on?
We're just chilling, talking to stream.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's dope. I think that was your first time ever having family on stream, correct?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
How did that feel? Kind of having your two worlds collide into one.
I was more concerned that I thought it was fine. I'm totally I do IRL streams with people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, he was just like another person, but like happened to be my dad, but he also happened to know like personal things about me.
Yeah.
That I was concerned that he would share,
Yeah, no.
So I had to like drill him like before the stream started. And I'm like, remember, don't dox me. Don't say anything about these things and that thing and this,
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to like make sure he knew, like, remember, you can't talk about these things. Otherwise I'll get doxxed and like
Bigger problem, this and that. No, 100%. That's nerve-wracking. I'm so scared about that in terms of like trying to, because I think that's kind of cool. That's a very unique stream to be sharing such a personal part of your life. It's literally your family, but they just aren't aware of what this Wild West.
Yeah, they don't have the proper like frame of mind to not like overshare things that could be
long-term detrimental or even short-term, I guess. Yeah, dangerous, but I like that. Here, this one is a bit of a paragraph, so let's try to navigate the question from here. Okay, I personally wanted to ask, I know that from hearing your origin story, I was very curious to ask, since I'll admit that I started watching you through another streamer, about what began to turn you away from working a normal job to starting to stream / cosplay professionally. There's a lot of me that is very afraid of the real world, having left school for 2 years and now starting my senior year of college. And I was wondering if understanding the streamer perspective would be beneficial for me to learn about the gaming industry by creating content. And I wondered if there was a similar feeling when you began streaming as well, especially considering the humongous pool of platforms having accumulated, as well as your growth over the years. Apologies if this is very long.
Okay, so I think there's like 2 questions in there.
Possibly, yeah. I think the first one, if we were, I'm trying to kind of just skim through it again. What began to turn you away from working a normal job to starting to stream and cosplay professionally would be the first one, I would say.
Okay.
Or the main one.
So the reason I started streaming / cosplay as opposed to my job was just because I started making more money streaming than my job. That's just the long and short of it. If I was not making enough money, then I would not have done it. And that shouldn't be the reason that most people start streaming. Because like everyone always says like stream for fun, don't expect to make a living from it. And that's true. But to quit your job, you do need to be making a living from it. Like you can always stream on the side as long as you have a way to survive. There's a lot of people that give the advice of you have to take the risk and dive headfirst in it. And I say that's terrible advice. You don't need to do that. If you're not seeing results doing it part-time, then you're not going to see results doing it full-time. The thing that's holding you back is not the part versus full-time aspect.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's a reality check. There's a lot of people online. I mean, I'll be the first one to say, I fell into the YouTube trap of here's the top 10 ways to, raise your stream, whatever. And the thing is this, it's like sometimes I watch those videos and I ask myself, are they really speaking to an audience or are they speaking to themselves? Like, are they trying to, inform themselves and support themselves? And it's a very harsh reality because like more often than not, what is being pushed on those videos is a lot of uh, how do I explain it? It's like a pipe dream where they're just trying to convince themselves, like, no, it'll work out, it'll work out. But like you said, like it's results based. You do have to check and see
Yes.
where your growth is and where your content is growing. And there's so much in the back end. It's not just passion's great and hope is an awesome thing. There's that old saying that hope is a great breakfast, an okay lunch, and a terrible dinner. So it's
Yeah.
so it's like you can only hold on to hope for so long, and that's where the twit longers come in and the burnout comes in. And
Yep.
I full-fledged agree with you that I think it's been romanticized. This job, this vocation, so romanticized. Of course, who wouldn't want to make a living playing video games? But it's more than that, and there needs to be an understanding of that too, and being able to balance your life and provide. I guess the second part of this would be asking if being a streamer or content creator would help in the back end of understanding the gaming industry. Do you feel so, or yes or no? That one.
Maybe to an extent.
Mhm.
Like, I could tell if a game is going to. Well, not even that. Like, the only thing I know about games that streaming has taught me is if enough influential people play a game, it will become popular.
True. Very true.
It doesn't even have to be a good game. If someone can make a game look fun, it will become popular.
What's an example of a bad game that popped off because enough popular people played it?
Death Stranding.
Okay, fair play. All right. I thought we were gonna get her to say Among Us. No, I love. Hey, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Among Us. I think it does get a bad rep, but I also would say the update took too long. They lost the momentum.
Oh,
from it.
I totally agree. That's why we play mods. Yeah, we don't even play the vanilla. I haven't played the vanilla Among Us in like 6 months.
Yeah,
It's all modded for me.
gotta be modded. Last one here, and they want stories for this one. All right, last question here, and it's 2 stories.
Okay.
Could you tell them about the Little Dicky lap dance and the Botox injection stories?
Botox. I never had Botox.
I don't know if it's regarding you or maybe somebody in the
I
peripherals.
think they just have the wrong statement. But yeah, I can tell about the Little Dicky.
Please.
So I was at TwitchCon at the 100 Thieves party, and Lil Dicky was their headliner. And he asked for someone to come on stage, and I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah!"
Yeah.
And so he called on me to go on stage. He gave, and it was a song that was like, "Let Me Freak." You know, I don't know if you know that one. Yeah. So like, I'm just like, I'm like getting my lap ready. I'm like, yeah, okay, let's go, let's do it. Come on, you know. And he's like, okay, 1 second, while he's like singing the song. He gets to the part and he just like does the lap dance on me, and I think it's just so funny.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time. It's hilarious, and I'm like grabbing his butt for to make it funny.
Yeah, you're getting a little bit there.
And it was great. Like partway through, he's like, let me know if everything is fine. Like, let me know if you're uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh no, everything is fine. You're doing great. And then like it finishes, like the song finishes. And then he gives me a bouquet of flowers.
Aw.
And then I start throwing the flowers into the audience,
Oh.
and he's just having a hoot, just seeing the.
That's
that was
amazing.
Lil Dicky.
You are on stage. You are here
Yeah.
in the front, and you just getting absolute. Are we talking like what were some of these lap dance moves? I'm trying to envision this. Was he flipping and reversing it? Was he straddling? Like, what are these moves?
No, he was straddling me, like facing towards me.
Okay.
I honestly don't remember like all of it. Like I wasn't drunk, but like I can't see myself from third person.
Sure. Okay.
Like I
fair
didn't know
point.
exactly what he did.
You just living in the moment there. Now that you,
Yeah.
what a wild, like that is such a dope like bar story. Like you can, who else can say they got a full on lap dance by Lil Dicky Dave? That's sick. I love that.
Yeah. Put the video in the chat. Oh, maybe you can't.
Oh yeah, we had to take out.
Yeah.
Let me
That's
ask.
right, that's right.
Let me ask this though, Cara. If another scenario, if there was a celebrity in which you could have a lap dance from, whom would it be and why?
Gal Gadot, because she's gorgeous and a queen.
Okay. You know what? Yeah. All right. You got that one. You stumped me on that. I thought this was going to be the gotcha question to end all gotcha, but you nailed on the head. Perfect. Perfect answer. I love that. I love that. But Cara, that's the show. It's as easy as
Oh
that.
no, they want me to say the other story.
Oh, you had the Botox story? I thought you said you didn't have.
Well, no, so I got like filler under my eye.
Oh, so you
because
do got a Botox. Okay.
It wasn't
Not
Botox.
you, but like, yeah.
It's a story though. I got filler under my eyes because like I have very sunken in eyes. Thank you, Middle Eastern genetics.
Okay.
But like, I mean, I don't right now because I got the filler.
Yeah.
But if you're like trying to look, but I guess the story is like just how they did it, I guess.
Huh.
But basically they take like this giant ass needle like this long and it's like really thick and they like, I don't know why they want to hear this story. I think it's this story.
Okay.
If this isn't the story you guys were talking about, I'm sorry.
They're just making you explain to me what what injecting your eye bags looks like. So you've got this injection. It's a huge needle.
It's a huge needle, but they go in through your cheek. So they like go in through here and like go underneath the skin into like under your eye.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And then, so the first one was fine. And then the second one, like my skin was literally so thick, they couldn't get the needle into my face.
Oh shit! Are you what?
So they're like, I have thick skin. Like literally, my skin is thick.
So did it just stay in your face? Like did they have to like, pull it out a little bit more? Did they even get it in?
No, like the needle just wouldn't go into my face. They had to like ram it into my face.
Oh shit! Oh, and there's a lot going on here. Like, there's easily it can go penetrate. How do they know how much force is appropriate?
Because they're doctors. I trust them. I don't
guess.
know, bro.
Well.
I don't know. I don't know why you'd want to know this story.
I don't know
have a
either.
Better one though.
Do you have? Go ahead,
I have a funnier needle story.
please.
Okay, so one time I woke up and I had a giant red line going from my thumb all the way like up to my armpit. And that's bad news because that indicates like blood poisoning basically. And you could die from that. So I'm like freaking out like, oh God, I need to go to a doctor like right now. It's called lymphangitis if you want to look it up. I don't know. But so I get to the doctor. It's like Sunday, 9 a.m.
Yeah.
I go to like an urgent care place. Yes, Tess. And so they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna need some antibiotics like right now. And I'm like, okay, cool. Do you have pills? And they're like, oh no, you're gonna need a shot. So I'm like, okay, great. And I'm like lifting my sleeve up and they're like, no, in your butt. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, if you have to, all right. So they're like, okay, well, we're gonna need you to pull your pants down a little bit, and then we're gonna need you to like sit like stand like this on the I forget what it's called.
Yeah, the
but
table thing,
the
yeah.
place, the table, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And so they start to like inject it, and it hurts so bad. But like for some reason, when I get hurt, I laugh. So I'm like laughing the whole time, like, oh, this sucks. And so she's like, all right, you're doing fine. You're doing great. And she's like almost done. And then I'm like, oh, wow, I think I need to lay down. And then I pass out. Everything goes black. I pass out. I wake up like a few seconds later, like I think it's a few seconds later, and the nurse is just like cradling me on the ground, and and she's like, "You passed out. Are you okay?" And I'm like, "What? Huh? I passed out?" She's like, "Yeah, but I caught you. You're good. I got you." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." But like it's so funny. You like actually see stars when you pass out. Like I've never passed out or fainted before, but you like literally see stars before you pass out.
Do you know the reasoning for your passing out? Was it pain? Was it lack of food or water?
I don't know. Like I hadn't eaten yet. Maybe I was locking my legs. Like I'm not sure. The pain, a perfect storm of all that, I guess. So
I've learned in that one story alone. First of all, you're a freak for laughing with the pain stuff. That's out of pocket. That is Harley Quinn. This is the Joker.
No, it's not like I like the pain.
No.
But it's like I'm like trying to deal with it. So I'm like, this sucks. Oh God, ha 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 ha. You know?
That's that reaction will freak me out if I was the nurse. Like I would be so scared. Like I'm trying, because I told you it's painful. Like it's painful, and you're laughing at this awkwardly, kind of trying to, figure it out, and then you faint, which then kind of oddly romantically catches you. And I don't know why I think this is such a romantic, like intimate moment where like you're in the nurse's arms, and she's just like kind of like, I've had you all, like kind of like brushing your hair.
I was always here, yeah. Yeah, so she caught me, and then the nurse is like, "All right, can you stand up and like lay down on the bench?" And like, yeah, I'm okay, I got it. So I lay down, and the doctor comes in, and the nurse is like, "She passed out," and the doctor's like, "Well, that's a bummer. You can't leave for 30 minutes."
Sounds about right. That sounds like the U.S. healthcare system. Hey, that sucks. Hey, anyways.
Yeah. So they got me like apple juice and crackers or something.
Oh, that's nice. But there was no side effect. There was no nothing. It was all good.
No. And then I took my antibiotic pills after that, and it was fine.
Out of pocket. That's hilarious. That's hilarious right there. We've learned so much here. We've learned so much here tonight, whether it be the nervous laughing and the fainting to the lap dances to the stories with the ex. I appreciate it all, Cara. Thank you so much. Honestly, I appreciate this. Now, here's the thing, though, Cara. Much like anything in life, nothing's free. And so I do need two things from you, okay?
Yes.
Do you have my stream open?
I do.
Or can you? Can you go on the back end, the viewer list, and can you choose any name that isn't myself, a mod, or a current VIP? Any name.
Oh, just choose a name.
Anything. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Artists. Where are you? Where'd you go? Artist Jupiter.
Artist Jupiter. Why specifically, as I stall to write down the name, why specifically Artist Jupiter?
Because Artist Jupiter is a cool person.
Oh, awesome. A regular in your community, I believe?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, as easy as that, Artist Jupiter, you got VIP. So it's as easy as that.
Oh.
That being said, I need you to pick, because I only have 5, I need you to pick when that's going to be eliminated here live tonight. All right? It's and I'll put it in my chat if you need it. It's easy.
You only have 3 here.
Yeah. So I have Walfios, Valenglobe, Truffles Q, Starry Audrey, and Speed Racer MDA.
Let's do Speed Racer MDA because they're not here today.
There you go. Racer MDA. Fair is fair. I love that. There you go. Quick and clean. I got one more thing I need from you, Cara. All right. We've been in this call for roughly about 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Wow.
It's been a while. This went by quickly too. I felt like I was just, in and out there. But let me ask this, Cara. All right. You've gone through the motions with me. You've gone through this journey. We've gotten to talk about your story both online and off. And I'm always looking for people whose communities I can join and watch them, but as well as possibly interview. So the question is, who is somebody that you would be interested in watching them go through the ringer with me. Talk about their life, both online and off. Who's someone you would tune in to watch?
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. Either my friend World. Ooh, Rifkin's a good one. Rifkin, Scotch, or Cheesy Blue Nips.
Oh man, I gotta write all these awesome world.
Here, I'll type them.
Please.
World, Base Trade TV, Scotch, and Cheesy Blue Nips.
Perfect. Actually, let me just save that. Perfect. And why did you choose these ones specifically?
I think they're all entertaining people, and I I know Scotch. Scotch has Scotch is just so funny and fun to hang out with, and his laugh is just the best. And I think he'd be interesting because he lives in Alaska, and I want to know about Alaska.
I love it.
And Cheesy Blue Nips because he's just so fucking weird. I want to learn what makes him tick.
What kind of weird we talking, Cara? What kind of weird we talking?
You don't want to know.
You're gonna make me go into this blind? Fair play.
You gotta go in blind.
Fair. You want, if you may, and I'm not gonna force you to it. But if you would you like to do a little invitation with me?
Actually, I think I would invite Rifkin.
Rifkin.
That's Base Trade TV. He has 2 names.
All right, Base Trade. Oh, we could do all 4 in one take if
We
you'd
could
like.
do all 4.
Yeah, perfect. All right, I'll do exactly the same. It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since I've done this, but basically, I'll ask you the final word of what you think, will convince any of the 4 people you've given us here tonight to do the show. All right, that's the only thing, and so just keep it general. But let me see if I still got it in me to do the 1 minute take. All right, let's look right here. Yo. Welcome to another episode of Inside the Streamer Studio. I'm Moms, the host, and today's very special guest we have here is KaraCorvus, and we've reached the segment of the show where I have the streamer recommend someone they'd like to watch, go through the gauntlet and tell their story both online and off. And your names, World, Base Trade TV, Skaza, Cheesy Blue Nips, have been recommended. And I would love to have you. This is an open invite. I'll DM you on Twitter, wherever it may be. But Cara, what would you like to tell them that would possibly get them interested in joining here and telling their story?
I want to learn about you weirdos. So please come on here so I can learn about what makes you guys tick and how you got so freaking weird.
Perfect. And scene. There it is. We'll post that later. But Cara, thank you so much for your time. Honestly, it's been a blast. I had so much fun sitting here, learning your name. I definitely said Skaza. I'm going to get that on the record, too. I 100% did. I thought I can slip that through. I am so sorry for it. It's because I know that I have 1 minute to say all this stuff. But how do you pronunciate it? How do I get it correctly? So I don't. Scotch. I'm so sorry. There it is. I'll literally. I have a thick thing of sticky notes on my desk at all times, and I write this down. Scotch. All right. Well, it's one take wonder right there. But Cara, I appreciate it all. I have one last bit here, one last segment, and then we'll end the show, and I'll tell you what I learned on my end about your story, and then I'll give you the final word. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So this show, Inside the Streamer Studio, was inspired by a 90s television show called Inside the Actor Studio. It was hosted by the late, great James Lipton, who for 23 years would bring actors, actresses, and entertainers into his classroom and auditorium. And he would host these long-form interviews where they talk about their upbringing, personal life, and then eventually their work in the media. And he ended all his shows, all 23 seasons, the exact same way, by asking each and every one of his guests the same 10 questions. And as an homage to him, I've done the exact same thing. I've asked each of my guests, all 102 now, the exact same 10 questions. There are only 3 rules. All right. First rule is I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to read you the question, moment of silence, have your answer. We'll move on from there. Second rule is that you do, in fact, have to answer each and every one of these questions. Not too tough, just kind of, in the moment thing. And the third part is to try to keep your answers within one thought or idea. So not one paragraph, not one word, just one sentence will do. Okay? After that,
Okay.
I'll tell you what I've learned about your story, kind of sum it up or summarize as much as I can, and I'll give you the final word. You ready?
Okay.
All right, let's start. Question 1. What is your favorite word?
Subpoena.
What is your least favorite word?
Hmm. Thought?
What turns you on?
Intelligence.
What turns you off?
Lack of ambition.
What sound or noise do you love?
Violin?
What sound or noise do you hate?
I guess like nails on a chalkboard.
What is your favorite curse word?
Hmm. Yeah, I guess fuck.
What
Lot of
profession?
uses. Sorry.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Voice acting.
What profession would you not like to do?
Something where I get dirty a lot.
And lastly, Cara, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I want a stats sheet of all of my things that I've done, like how many times I've jumped or sneezed.
I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, KaraCorvus. Cara, you did it. There's a stat sheet of yourself. You want like a game over, like this is exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I've never heard that one before, but I love that. I love that a ton. Damn, Cara. Jeez. Okay. Allow me to have this moment. Let me tell you what I've learned on my end. And I'll give you the final word here. But Cara, I'll tell you the God honest truth is this. The moment you came in here, all right, for me, I was kind of thrown off because I was like, when we were having our DMs prior to the show, I was like, okay, like I kind of, I've done this enough time, and it always goes the same way in terms of like, all right, I'm gonna call you, this is that, and we didn't talk about how it was gonna, I guess, formulate going live at the same time. And so already I'm like, oh man, I'm adjusting to what's going on. But the moment you came in, there was a weird piece about it all. And I think it's your energy. It's who you are as a person. No, like we talked about this over the beginning part of your show, where that genuine nature, that friendly nature is so, it radiates off of you. And I think that's truly the bread and butter and the core of who you are. It's yeah, you know, the entertainment of your streams and then the content you're able to produce is awesome. But you as an individual it's intoxicating to sit here across from you and listen to your stories. I mean, up front, you know, people will see, oh, this is a beautiful woman and that, you know, you model, you cosplay, you do all this jazz. But then you have so many layers to it. The scientist part, let alone. Just having those two things would be crazy. And then you have the stories of you in LA. And all you live this life that is so full and it's so independent and truly yours. And just being able to be a part of that and celebrate that. And by no means do I think that we captured the whole gravity of who you are. That would be impossible to do in one show. But it was beautiful to take even a 15-minute window into your life and see the good, bad, the ugly, all of it. And I appreciate you being so candid and honest with not just myself, but those that are watching here and in your community as well. So, Cara, this has been an absolute blast. I'm very thankful for your time, and I'm proud to have met you, and JoJo is a homie for recommending you because she's 100% right. Like you've been such a stellar guest, and I wish you well. And I have some other shows if you'd like to be a part of that too. We could talk later. I don't got a grandstand here. We could talk more on the side there. But Cara, what would you like to say to those watching live here on Twitch, in the future on YouTube, or listening on Spotify?
Thanks for watching. This has been wonderful. You're very charismatic. You're great at leading a show. So hats off to you, honestly.
I appreciate that. That's too kind, man. That means the world. Thank you, Cara. But I'll DM you after the show. We'll keep in touch. You take care. Get some. You have done more than enough for a full day here. All right? Are you taking tomorrow off? Are you live tomorrow?
Yeah.
Wait, yes. Wait,
yeah, of course.
Wait, you are live tomorrow.
Yeah, of course.
Louise. There you go. And hopefully you can let your community out from the basement as they're asking, all right?
Hopefully. We'll see.
You know, they've been okay. They've been okay today, so we'll see. You're right. But Cara, thank you so much for your time. Again, I'll hit you up after the show. But you take care, all right? You take care.
All right. Thank you so much.
Peace.